What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Be able to get my luggage. At what point will I be able to get my luggage?
At this time, right now, I cannot give any time. I just it's gonna show up on the system, and if they forward it, you're gonna get a notification.
All right, so they're gonna send me a notification for my luggage.
Exactly.
All right, I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. And also, it's gonna be a 1 minute survey. If you can give me a survey, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, Mr. Daniel, and sorry about that. And bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you for participating in this one question, sir.
I don't do surveys. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? On the phone with Delta trying to get my luggage back from Houston. They say they're gonna deliver it to my door, so that'll be good. Yeah, man, that's why. That's why we starting at the time that we starting. Because I'm on the phone with them, trying to get them to get their stuff together. I like Delta. I'm not gonna cap. I like Delta, but the fact that I have to go through all of these hoops in order to get my luggage is insane. What's going on, chat? What's happening? You said maybe I should ship my luggage before I leave. That's what they got baggage claim for. Why would why, if think about it like this, okay? So when you fly first class, you have baggage included, right? So I don't pay additional for my luggage to get there. So why would I do that? What's going on? You don't do surveys either? Nah, we not doing no surveys. We got a show to do. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all feel? Did y'all enjoy after hours last night? Or did y'all enjoy after hours last night? I'm literally chasing my bag. Facts. Why didn't I carry on? Why would I carry on luggage when I can have it shipped? Listen, it's not even that big of a deal. It ain't nothing in there that's just crazy. The most expensive thing I got in there is like some Prada shoes. All OGs. That's the OG kit. All right. It's really two or three different types of shoes, depending on what your age is and what your tax bracket is. If you are OG You know what I'm saying, of a certain age, and you get to unk status, which means that you probably got some kids that you're coaching or something like that. Usually you're gonna find yourself in some Jordans, maybe some Jordan 3s, maybe some 11s. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have the classics on. Cement, preferably cement, no Team Jordan, none of that type of stuff. All right. If you really get to a certain level and if you cut from a certain cloth and you remember certain things that went back, or you get some Air Max 95s. Air Max 95s is another classic shoe. If you get to OG status and you want to make sure that, you know, you got your good arches and you got a classic shoe that was from your childhood that's still hitting today, you got to get your Pradas. If you don't have a pair of Pradas, but you get to OG status, that's something that you got to get to. The patent leather ones, low top, high top is okay. Low top patent leathers, black, blue, red, green, all of that, all of the Pradas. That's what you want to do. All right, we not doing New Balance 501s. We not doing none of that. We out of that. Just because you get older don't mean that you got to get some Nike Monarchs. We're not doing no Nike Monarchs. You gotta get some Air Maxes, some Jordan 3s, 11s. And then if you get to a certain level, you want to make sure you get you some Pradas. Everything else is just cute. Everything else we wear that because it's cute. You know what I'm saying? Or you can get you some Gucci, some the all white Gucci's that kind of look worn a little bit. You can wear them all day long. Them things will last forever. Will last forever. Forever. Air Max 95s, yes. 95s. Somebody says Air Max 95 fell off too. They don't fit the same. No, your feet just got fatter. Yeah. Your feet just fat now. That's it. You know? That's all right though. I'm gonna get super fit. That's my next challenge. Before I do anything, before I hit 1 million subscribers, maybe I'm pushing a little bit, but I'm working on it. I really am. I'm working on it. I am working on it. We all gonna get there. Listen, you may be a young man today, but you want to make sure that you age gracefully because one day you might be unk. One day, if you're blessed, one day you might be unk. Lose reviews and stuff. You know what I'm saying? New Balance 990s and 960s. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I know that y'all like y'all New Balances. I know you want to do Sauconys. Sauconys is actually one of the best running shoes. For style though, nah. You gotta have a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Paul Unslaved. He wants to promote on the channel. I don't know about that. Mike that dude, what's happening, Mike that dude? I appreciate you. Jared Rankin says, just for being a good dude, much respect. Thank you, my friend. Mike that dude, I appreciate you also. Thank you to everybody that hold me down and contributing to the platform. You guys are absolutely awesome. Asics are a good running shoe. They call me Mr. Bibb. Says not justifying this, but judge, if you did not slap him, would any of this happen? No, defendant not guilty. All right. 54 years old. Now I've heard many judges myself say that to the defendant. What? How have you heard that? You've been in court? You've been hanging out in court a lot? I personally don't like to hang out in court a lot. I'm a pass on that. John Adon says New Balance got style too and comfortable. I'm gonna let you go ahead and go do that. That's for you. That's not for me. I'm gonna do the Pradas. Do you think that Trump is doing a great job? I do. I think that Trump is doing a phenomenal job, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Trump, Jason Jocelyn. And thank you to everybody that continues to hold us down. What up, y'all? How y'all feeling? It is Wednesday. Wednesday is a little sad for me because I don't get an opportunity to stream at night. Driving down to Florida, I saw a Ford jacked up with the big tires, and I knew it was a white guy. AD, would you ever take the weight loss shot? You talking about the Ozempic? Nah. And you know why? I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I would never do that is because I don't know what the long-term consequences and effects are of these people, and I don't want to look like a bobblehead. Because it seemed like people that be on the OZ, which, hey, listen, if that worked for you, do what you got to do. But, you know what I'm saying? The people that be on the OZ, their head don't be the same size as their body when they take the shot. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know what the long term consequences is. Whenever I see rich people do stuff, I'll be like, because all of them is weirdos. They be looking like mannequins in Hollywood and all of that stuff. Nah, I'm straight. I'm straight. Yeah, you're gonna be looking like Al Sharpton with the big bobblehead. I'ma just listen. We gonna slow roll it. We gonna operate at a caloric deficit. We gonna do intermittent fasting. We gonna get some watermelon, and we gonna, you know what I'm saying, more vegetables, and we just gonna do it the hard way. Pause. We just gonna get it the normal way. We're gonna be regular human beings. We're gonna live a long life. We're gonna do exercises. We're gonna do between a half hour and an hour in the gym. And we just gonna have to make sure that we're disciplined. That's it. Listen, there ain't no shortcuts when it comes to success. Walking around looking like a toddler. It ain't no shortcuts. In the same way that I tell y'all that it ain't no shortcuts when it come to money, it ain't no shortcuts when it come to nothing. You know what I'm saying? There is no shortcuts to success in any portion of your life. You just got to get it out the mud. That's it. You just gonna have to be disciplined. That's really all it is discipline. Is discipline because we got too much access, and so it forces us to have to be a lot more disciplined. Where we could just do whatever we want to do when we want to do it, and that's it, bro. I was just eating Skittles last night. Facts, 100%. I got my Skittles because I was out and about and I was doing, I was having fun. And so that was a snack that they gave me at the event that I went to. And so I had me a couple Skittles. No couple Skittles. So y'all military style. I see you. I see you. I got you. I understand. Well, I'm glad that y'all paying attention. They pay attention to time, dog. I'm glad you're paying attention. Well, this is what I will say. No matter what I do, I'm not doing those shortcuts. Regardless if it take me a year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever it is, I'm gonna go ahead and forego the shot. I'm not gonna. I can't do the OZ. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Whatever it is that we do, I'm gonna just go ahead and pass on the OZ. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to taste my rainbow? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Jocelyn's Closet says, Anton, don't take an hour in the gym. Whatever body parts you want to work that day, do 3 sets, 30 seconds. You will be amazed at how your body would. I like hanging out. Listen, the gym that I have, not the one in my building, but the other club that I go to, you be shooting the breeze, talking to people. It's more of a social thing than anything. It's not about all of that other stuff. It's like having fun. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that go there. A lot of business deals, people connect. Some of my Arab connects is over there. So you just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll get there. We gonna work on it. We'll work on it. Bro, you can be on the treadmill right now and do the tour podcast. Yeah, I got a walking desk right there. I'm not doing that. Listen, I'm not doing all of that. I'm gonna be chilling. We gonna slow motion. We gonna enjoy life. And at the same time, we gonna slow roll it and we gonna get there. We gonna do what we do. We gonna do what we do. AD, do you remember me? No, I don't. You don't have a profile picture, so I'm assuming that you jerk off in your socks. All right. All right. What else? 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 Is there anything else that I feel comfortable talking about online before we get into the show as we continue to see the people trickle in? Is there anything else? But here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest thing. Everybody, not everybody. Let me revise that. Let me say this because I did a review video of a guy, and he was from Opelika in Florida, and he was a black guy, and he said, "Oh my God, it's so hard as a black man out here, so on and so forth." And it's not. I don't agree with that. You just got to pick a struggle. So, like for example, you can't be fat and broke at the same time and be chopped. You can't go for the 3 for 3 or the 4 for 4. You got to pick something. You know what I'm saying? You can't be broke and demanding of women. You know? It's like you gotta pick something. Even if it's something that you're gonna fix longer term, you know, like you gotta go with something. If you are a guy that I don't know, um, you can't have all of your stuff broken. You know, you gotta pick a struggle. You can't be a overweight woman with a bad personality. You got to be nicer than everybody else. You know, you you see what I'm saying? You can't be a dreadhead and steal at the same time. If you're gonna be a dreadhead, then you're going to have to make sure that you are on your best behavior. The only guys that should be getting dreads are guys that never have any kind of felonies. Because if you're gonna be a dreadhead and you're gonna be, you got warrants out for your arrest or whatever, you got to get a regular cut because you're gonna get more profiled. If you drive a fast car, it's a strong possibility you're going to get pulled over. So you got to make sure that you have your license together. If you get a Hellcat, you're going to have to pay more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do all of the things and be dusty at the same time. You got to pick a struggle. You got to pick a struggle. You can't go with all of the struggles and then be like, oh man, the world hates me. It's a large conversation that's happening amongst women. Y'all fighting each other like cats. Y'all fighting each other like cats, and y'all fighting over is some women is the skinny women is holding the big women accountable, and they saying, oh man, y'all need to get yourselves together. And the big women keep being in denial and saying, no, I'm just big boned and my face is pretty. And it's like, you know, you got to pick a struggle. And then the big ones with the big ones with the bad attitude, those are usually the ones that be in the comments like, yeah, leave him, girl. You know, this is baby weight from 7 years ago. I wasn't able to get it off. And it's like, you got to pick a struggle. You can't be cantankerous and difficult to work with in your household and be big at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be unfit and broke at the same time as a man. You got to pick one, you know? So you gotta work it out. You gotta work it out. You see Umar as mad as F, he talking tough online. When? Send it to me. Send it to me. Email it to me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. All right. Kay Cooper says Jill Scott may be big, but she pretty and rich. Yeah, and Jill Scott it seems like she's extra freaky. So she'll go the extra mile in ways that maybe regular girls may not go. You know, you can't be Whoopi Goldberg and have a bad attitude. You're supposed to be very, very pleasant. I met a lady inside of an elevator yesterday, and she was so sweet. And you'll be surprised how that sweet spirit will cover you, but that evil spirit will exaggerate the things that people don't like about you. It goes bad, It goes really, really bad. Send me the Umar video. I want to talk about it. You can't be I don't know. Give me another one. Broke with a little penis. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be you get away with a lot when you got good sex, you know? You know what I'm saying? You gotta figure it out. Gotta figure it out. You gotta move and groove with the cards that God gave you, and you go from there. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? Shout out to Rand Wilson. Today another inmate released in NOLA is now a fugitive. Shout out to you on Cash App. I appreciate you, Rand Wilson. That's called a soft combo. Oh, you can't have a bad attitude and bad D. Nah, dog. Brock said, "How we get here? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it's the Millionaire Derailment Show. We just like the way it sounds when we say Millionaire Morning Show. Millionaire Morning Show is for the marketing purposes. This is really the Millionaire Derailment Show, but it just don't hit the same. But that's really what we do. All right. Y'all ready to get started with the show? Cause think about it. You could be a grumpy man and have a lot of money. Because women will tolerate a lot more if you got good D, good sex, and you make a decent amount of money, but you come home with a bad attitude every once in a while because life didn't go well for you that day. Oh my God. I just can't believe it. They just over here, they just tripping out there. You know what I'm saying? Then the girl is gonna be like, oh, you know what? Oh, y'all stay out of daddy's way. Move over because Anton ain't he not. We gon' You okay, baby? That's what happened when you doing well in life. When you doing well in life, you get extra money is like pretty privilege for men, right? And so it's like, oh no, you know what? Oh, but if you tough, if it's bad, you know what I'm saying? If things ain't bad, you can't come home and tell her the same. It just don't hit the same. When you got money and when everything is going well and you pay for everything, hey, you know what? I don't even feel like dealing with this right now. I'm sorry, baby. What did I do? Oh, but when you only giving her $25 a week and you telling her, you want her to be submissive, she gonna be like, girl, you hear this nigga? I wish. That's when they start doing all of this. I wish he would. Going back and forth for her. Don't touch my PlayStation. Don't you touch my PlayStation. It's different. You know what I'm saying? She is when you cold, when the temperature in your house is the same as outside because you can't get the heat fixed. It's a little different. It's just a little different. It's a little different. You could get tolerance. The tolerance level is according to your lifestyle. And that's the part that we really don't want to have a conversation about. Tolerance is lifestyle specific. It is not equal across the board. You got a bad attitude, but you come home, but everything is good. The lawn is manicured. They getting on that first class flight. That's what I do. Whenever I mess up, that's my yeah. You know what? All right, we're gonna get started with the show, but I'm gonna tell y'all one more thing. I'm gonna tell y'all one more of my the way I get away with a little bit more. Cause I might get a little extra, like you coming to me, daycares, don't worry about this one. Who the f you talking to? Man, these hoes get on my nerve. I can't, I'm one of them. If I just get to that level, you know what? I can't deal with these hoes. It's just crazy in here. Man, get off my face. I'm gonna slap the door. Damn. All right. Here's a handbag. You ready to go shopping? I see. I'm not the apology type. You know what I'm saying? So I just be like, hey, you want to go shopping? Come on, let's go out to eat. Take her to the Louis Vuitton store. Get her a bag. You cussed me out more than once, so you gonna have to come up with it. This is a. I play along. Yeah, I know. You know what? I got you. Hey, you want to come on this trip with me? Where you going on a trip at? I get your handbag. Nice cuss out handbag. I get your handbag. You get your handbag. You know. I'm not the apology type. I'm the gifting type. I'm a generous. I'm a generous king. I do. I purchase forgiveness. I purchased forgiveness. I had that woman in a chokehold. You ruining me for other people because I ain't gonna be able to talk to nobody else. I know. Come here. I know. Come here. Did the temperature adjust itself in here? We got that new technology. All right. And you remind them. Hey, how was your drive? Oh, you didn't drive today? You got your driver? Okay, cool. I'm not apologizing. I'm not even a discuss. You don't communicate well. Hey, it's a handbag over there. I got you though. You know what? I ain't even tripping about it. I'm not talking to you. I don't want to solve for no problems. Did you go shopping today? You want to go on a trip? All right, then shut the up. I'm not going to keep on explaining to you that I'm not interested in talking back and forth about this subject. We going on a trip tomorrow. Okay? All right. Not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not talking to you. I'm not interacting with you. I don't want to explain myself. If I'm grumpy, we'll figure it out. And you just gonna have to understand, and that's just the way it go. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications. Let me read a couple of super chats, and we'll go ahead and get it popping with the show. You should get a pair of On Clouds. I don't even know what that is, Jack Covington. You are trying to have me out here looking dumb. MP says, I sent that email with the ATL shooting. Bet. I got you. Nothing like putting hard work in at the gym. Yep, you feel good. You just got to maintain it. It's a consistency thing. Nichelle says, been getting caught up on older Patreon videos. My new mantra is fast is slow and slow is fast. Yeah, so you taking advantage. KB the Hybrid says, what up, AD? Have you made a video in detail on the Patreon about how to vet effectively for renters? Have I? Or have I just talked about it? We can talk about it in the next block club because I actually got to get 2 new tenants, one for the property that they moving out at the tomorrow. So I'm supposed to get the keys back. And then I got another one that's coming on the market that I'm finished building. So I'll go over that. That's a good question. Louis McCaskill says, drink lemon water during your fast. Don't eat the first 4 hours you're awake and stop eating 4 hours before bed. Love the show. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you, Louis McCaskill. Thank you for those tips. Blessings to you, Anton, and all of the bag chasers, Miss Miss Freckles. Just wanted to show love to everyone at the same time. What up, Miss Freckles? We love you, baby. Sarge, Life and Motorcycling says, good morning, AD. Did you say unfit and broke? Heck no. Yeah, you can't do both. We read the same book, says Chris Cunningham. Facts. All right, y'all. All right. On Clouds is fire. Okay, I'm gonna have to check them out. Anyways, let's get our money up. Let's get our bags up. That way we ain't got to sit there and keep hearing we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. Money buys peace. The same way that it buys you more time, it could buy you peace. She ain't going nowhere. What's she gonna do, Doc? What's she gonna do? She gonna go downgrade? What you want to go and get your Coach bag now? On your birthday? Get your little Michael Kors? Huh? You shop at Temu now. I don't believe no woman. I'll never, ever believe a woman that ever says, you know, it's about the love. It's about, you know, being heard and being seen. That is broke talk. That is from women that are used to being in a duress mindset. That is for women that contributes into the household, that has to go to work, and you know they be tired at work. That is not reserved for women that are posted up, taken care of. You ain't never gonna sell me that, because I'm the type of person to say, all right, go figure it out, go leave, and tell me what you find. You know what? I'm just gonna say, I don't even got no time for this. I'm gonna just say, oh, I know. You ready to go to the show and go some shopping, have some fun, or no? Or you gonna keep talking to me? Cause I leave. I got 2-3 houses in the same city. I'll go to the other one. And when you go to this one, I'm gonna go to the other one. That's for everybody else. When you get older, you don't like to talk as much. You a sucker for a trip? Be ready in 30 minutes? Oh, we don't pack bags. We don't pack bags. We don't pack bags. I missed your super chat. What super chat I missed, Brandon? Brandon said I missed a super chat. Did I miss a super chat? Jason Jocelyn, Kay Cooper, Jack Covington, MP, Abundance Mindset, Nichelle, KB the Hybrid, Louis McCaskill, Miss Freckles. I didn't think I missed a super chat. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't. I don't see a super chat that I missed, but I apologize if I did. All right. All right, let's get to it. I want to first start off with, we got to talk about the news of the earthquake, the Russian earthquake that led to a tsunami. So I was getting text messages all last night from my friends, from people that had people in Hawaii and things like that. And so I said, prayers up, because there's just nothing you can do about natural disasters. So apparently, they had big earthquakes off in Russia.
All right, so this is some new video just into our newsroom. This is from an area in Russia, and this is our first look at this tsunami wave, where we can see, this is called the, I'm sorry if I mispronounce this, the Severo-Kurilsk area, and this is in Russia's Kuril Islands. And you can see the tsunami wave coming, and you can see it doing damage. And that's our first look at that as this repeats, Marla.
Yeah, and on a closer look, you'll see the buildings being swept away. So these images are out there. There's a watch for the entire West Coast coastline. Here's what I'm talking about here when you're seeing the buildings being swept away. This is one of the largest top 10 earthquakes to strike
since 1990. Since 1900. One of the top 10 earthquakes in the world since 1900, 8.7 magnitude quake. And you think about, earthquakes as you get up in magnitude, they're not all the same. I mean, that is a enormous earthquake, which we think happened out in the middle of the ocean. Because if something like that would have happened right under land, the devastation would be, unbelievable. But as we saw with Japan, when we had that big quake there in Fukushima, the tsunami was more deadly than the quake itself. And we know the power of water in terms of a tsunami wave is about as powerful a force as there is on Earth. And it can move buildings, it can move cars, and it can kill a lot of people quickly. Hopefully we don't have that situation here, but it is concerning when we start hearing about these warnings and watches.
This is a live look at a location in Japan. So you're seeing the activity in the ocean, of course. As it relates to the concern here, Hawaii has just been upgraded from a tsunami warning to a tsunami watch. If it strikes there, it will be 7 o'clock, 7:15 their time, local time, Hawaii time, which is not until the 10 o'clock hour for us. We're hearing that would translate. Here's a live look at Hawaii and Waikiki Beach. We're hearing that the worst of it, if it were to happen along the West Coast, would happen in the 1 a.m. hour Wednesday.
Right. So again, Hawaii now a warning up from a watch, which means that they're more concerned about it and that they are going to be having literal alarm bells, which they have set up for potential tsunamis, that will be blaring in Hawaii over the next few hours to get people prepared.
That's the one thing about living in places like Hawaii and California, is that along with the good weather, you also may have more natural disasters and things that are happening on this earth. And somebody said it in the chat. They said water is way more powerful. I think that the water, the oceans in general, is just more devastating. I don't think that there's anything more dangerous than the ocean. I don't think that there's anything on the face of this earth, not your mama, not Umar Johnson's donations, not nothing. I don't think that there's not Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior. There is nothing more scary than the ocean, bro. Than the ocean. It's like, it's the only thing on this earth that we have no control over. We have zero control over what the heck happens when it happens. We just wait for stuff to happen, and then we just try to adjust along with it. So I also will say it seems like Russia is catching hell right now. Russia can't catch a break. Russia cannot catch a break. And I'm not one of them people that say, this is because you can't get right. But sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, maybe y'all need to get yourselves together and stop having all of these people killed. Mountains are crumbling. Yeah, Russia, they got a lot going on, bro. I wouldn't want to be a Russian. I even was listening and I was reading an article. Yep, some of us still read. Look at that. Look at all of the water being sucked out into the ocean. Whole buildings is being washed away. That's crazy. That's insane. See, I'm not the type of person to film. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person to be getting up out of there. I'm not trying to be popular on social media. I'm that type of time.
Завод тонет. Наш завод все вам тонет.
If I'm Russia, I'm gonna go ahead and make a ceasefire deal at this point. You got to deal with a tsunami. You got to deal with millions of people dying inside of your country too. Molly says, is this normal? I don't know. I have no idea if this is normal. It don't seem normal. Don't seem normal. I was reading an article the other day and it was talking about how Russia is using, within Russia, because see, what we get in our media is completely different than what's really happening over there, right? And they say those people over there is terrified. They say the people in Russia is terrified because what they're doing is they're using media and propaganda in order to recruit people to try to get them to sign up so that they can actually fight in this Ukraine war. And it's another reason why they had to do a deal with the Koreans in order to recruit them to come over and die on behalf of Russia also, right? And this is the definition of selling out your people. For all of y'all that think that Russia is so awesome and that they plan things the right way, them people trying to get up out of there. So this is the type of propaganda that they're using. They're basically saying, hey, we'll give you this amount of money or this amount up front, and then we're going to continue to give you this amount of money for every so often after you've stuck around inside of our military. But then they stick them out there and they be getting maimed and killed, and it's not anything that they expected it. And so one of the things they saying, be a real man and come and fight for your country. Translation, come over here and die for a dictator that don't care nothing about you and is not even tripping about the money that it's going to take in order to do it. Seriously. It's crazy. Y'all seriously need to start reading, like start deep diving into some of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I don't talk about because I know that it may not necessarily be interesting to you, but it is some real stuff that's happening out here in these streets, in these other countries, and y'all letting this Western media be the only thing that you're using as a form of communication or understanding to better know exactly what's happening.
All right, this is a Fox News alert. A massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Russia has now triggered tsunami advisories, watches, warnings included in Japan, Hawaii, Alaska, Guam, the entire west coast of the U.S., including California, Oregon, Washington State. Tsunami warning sirens have been sounding in Hawaii, telling residents evacuate now to higher ground. Here with more, Fox Weather Zone, Steve Bender is with us. This now has been upgraded to 8.8. That would make it in the top 10 most powerful earthquakes ever in history that's been recorded, correct?
Correct. It would be number 6 now, Sean, when we look at this. And this continues to change. When it first came out, local time, just after 2 a.m. At Kamchatka, Alaska, 8 miles off the coast, it was 8.0. Then it jumped to 8.7. 8.8 is where we stay now. And last time we talked, Sean, that seems like a minute detail, a small change. It means it has 1.5 times more energy that's being dispersed out thousands of miles along the Pacific, triggering all those tsunami alerts that we have. So from an 8.7 to an 8.8 is actually a big difference. So we'll show you how massive this energy is sprawling out from the epicenter, 8 miles removed from the eastern coast of Russia. Tsunami warning for the Aleutian Islands, tsunami warning for Hawaii, and a watch in place for the West.
Bet y'all didn't even know that was Hawaii. That's literally the size of Hawaii. All it is a strip of islands. That's it. That's all Hawaii is a strip of islands. And so the weather is beautiful in the summertime, but boy, when something happened in Hawaii, it is over. That's why everything is so expensive in Hawaii, because you literally got to ship everything there in order for you to have some of the same modern conveniences that we have here on land in the United States of America. It's the same thing when it comes to the Maldives. Have y'all ever seen the Maldives and what it looks like? They little strip. You got to take a small plane to get there. That's why I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush at all to go to some of these places. Y'all see them on Instagram. Oh my God, I want to go to the Maldives. And I'll be looking like, yeah, I'm not really afraid of the ocean or water, but that's like, those are like little dots. Those are like little dots over there, you know? And I was looking like, do they got good internet? That's the first thing that I ask everywhere that I go. Everywhere that I go, the first thing that I ask is, how good is the internet connection? How good is the intranet connection? I need to be connected. I got money to get, people to see, things to do, and all of that of what's going on inside of out here in these streets. I need to know, what is the intranet doing? What the internet doing? What they got popping over there with the internet? Maldives, they got the good internet. Or are you trying to have me sealed off from the rest of the world? You know what? I'm gonna figure it out first. I need to know what the internet is doing.
You mentioned Hawaii, right? And we've been getting the updates from Oahu, the emergency management. They have sirens going on right now. I think we have a live visual from Hawaii because, Sean, when you and I were talking, you think about what we're in right now. It's the summertime. Families are going to Hawaii. You're trying to make a dream out of this opportunity. And now you're hearing these sirens erupt. We saw people that were just relaxing at the beach, and big concerns about after 7:15 local time this evening is when the tsunami is expected to make impacts. This is something to take seriously in Oahu. The emergency management says you need to get to higher ground. If you're in a building and needs to be at least 10 stories, get to the 4th story or above, or that's not tall enough, find a bigger building. We start looking at the Aleutian Islands. This is actually where we look at the Aleutian megathrust. It's these tectonic plates. It's the most active spot in the entire world is in the North Pacific. I was talking with an Alaskan seismologist, Dr. Michael West, just earlier this month because of a big quake we had then. That was a 6 point something. Now we're at an 8.8. Looking at Hawaii, we are also getting some updates that out of Hilo, the airport is now closed because they're using this as the spot where they're going to be getting out emergency personnel to coordinate with any of the impacts that are going to happen. So they are shutting down the airports. They're getting the sirens, and they're telling everybody you need to get to higher ground. The visuals that we have seen on social media so far, and we're working to confirm.
I heard about this. I seen this on Instagram where people is all of a sudden getting mad at Oprah again because she didn't open up her road in order for them to get to higher ground. Y'all so tiring. Y'all can't wait to get mad at somebody that's rich because y'all poor. If somebody comes in and gentrifies your area, that's just the way that it is. It's just, that's capitalism. It is what it is. Don't come to the mountain Caucasus of Hawaii, and then it just is what it is. You got priced out, bro. You got priced out. Everybody want to get mad at Oprah. She's not opening up her road. That's why it's called a private road. That's why it's called a private road, so she can go over there and hang out with her friends. Mark Zuckerberg is continuing to fortify his fortress on Hawaii. It's just the way that it is, baby. Take that L. Take that L. So anyways, prayers up for the people that are affected by the earthquake. And I hope that everything goes well. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let's pivot for a second. Let's go over to Houston before we start to really get active out here. Gotta give y'all a little bit of local news, you know. Houston, a couple different videos that I want to present to you guys. The first one is a smash and grab from the usual suspects. You see who the person is, what they look like at the bottom of the screen. And this is what's happening over in Houston, ladies and gentlemen.
Men dressed in black enter an H-E-B. Here they are in League City and rob a jewelry store. Then they take off. Anayeli Ruiz joins us live with what she is learning from investigators this evening. Anayeli?
Well, guys, I actually spoke to the owners who are inside of this store. As you can imagine, they're shaken by this ordeal. They did not want to speak on camera, but take a closer look again at the suspects that the League City Police Department is looking for right now. They released these photos of the masked men and veterans.
Now, I was saying this earlier. I'm going to say it right now. I know that there's plenty of people out here that know who this guy is with the Nike jogger hoodie and the mask from the hospital. You like HEB? You like HEB? Everybody knows there's somebody in the neighborhood, somebody that's watching the news, somebody that's familiar with who this guy is and who his friends are. They had already told you that what they were going to do this before they even did it. Tasha, you are 100% correct. You said that's why there's no stores in our community. I wonder why. Well, I could tell you why if you really want to know. Because it's difficult to open up a store in an environment where everybody is looking to steal, kill, and destroy everything that you have. And then they'll sit there and they'll call it a food desert. They'll sit there and they call it a food desert. 100%. 100%. They'll go in, they'll smash and grab. They got their hoodies on, they got their mask on, but we're not supposed to stereotype them. And we're not supposed to be scared when these guys walk in when they're sledgehammer. They just got a sledgehammer walking around a store of HEB for no reason. They just got crowbars walking around the stores for no reason. At some point, there has to be a level of defense that we can use. And y'all, and I know how y'all think. Oh man, it's a big box store. Oh man, that's a major store. Oh man, don't worry about them. It ain't worth your life. Or a life is more precious. A criminal's life is more precious than whatever it is that they stole. Says who? Says who? When did a criminal's life become more important and precious? That's my question that I have for y'all in this segment today. When did a criminal's life, because we say that a lot. We say that a criminal's life, or we don't say a life, criminal's life. We just say life. We're not applying it to the criminality part of what it is that people is doing. When did a person's life become more important and more precious than my home, my safety, our tax dollars, the stores, whatever? How did a criminal's life become more important than the public perception, public safety, all of that stuff? When do we get to the point to where somebody can break into my car or break into my vehicle and I have to watch them take whatever it is that they want out of my vehicle, and I cannot take their life when I'm witnessing it because it's not endangering my life? I don't agree with that. I certainly don't agree with it. And listen, I know that there's some people out there that say, Anton, you need to be more of a Christian. So I'm supposed to let the devil beat me up? Turn the other cheek so they can slap you. And then turn your other cheek so they can slap the original cheek that they can slap. That's not the scripture that I read. That's not the scripture that I read. I didn't read that scripture. I did not read that scripture. I didn't see it that way. I don't believe that somebody should be able to take somebody else's stuff without having to pay the ultimate consequences as a result of it. I just don't see it. I don't see it. It's not even a morality thing. The moral thing to do is to keep your kids and teach them right so that they don't get their head taken off by feeling as though they can run into somewhere and rob it. When did it start becoming cool? When did it start being the way that I was raised in the hood? Was I was raised that if you decide to become a criminal, it is a strong possibility. Like, let's say you stole cars, right? You boosted cars. That if you stole somebody's car, it's a strong possibility you can die. You're going to die right there where you stand. That's what I was raised. That it's a strong possibility that you can die. I had a homeboy, and this was a long time ago. And he said the reason why he stopped doing criminal activity, he said because he was one step away from losing his life. This is the honest to God truth of what he told me. I said, what you mean? He said, man, I went into a good neighborhood. We have a lot of really good neighborhoods. And then here it was in a neighborhood that was in like Sherwood Forest, Palmer Woods, right? And he said, man, I was trying to break, and this is what he literally told me. He said, I was trying to break into this car or whatever. And he said he was trying to be quiet and he heard something. And he said what normally seemed like a tree rustling or a little movement or whatever, he said his instincts just kicked in and he just walked away. He said he walked away and he said he went and he jumped in the car because, usually if you're going to do crime, what happens is they steal another car to go do crime. He said he was on the side of the guy or whoever's house trying to get into the car. He said he heard something. He said when he heard something, he just immediately walked away. He said usually it's just like, oh, that's just a tree rustling or whatever like that. And it was at nighttime, obviously. He said he heard something. And he said when he went to the car and he got in the car, he said he seen a guy come out from the back of the house with a gun in his hand. And he said he probably would have died. I said, you serious? He said, yes, bro. He said The thing that stopped him from stealing, that changed his life and put him on a straight and narrow, he said he felt like God gave him a warning with that sound. He said because there was no way that he would have in other situations ignored it. He said he never did another crime before in his life. He said he went and got a job. He went and got on a straight and narrow. And he said he was so thankful. He said he was so thankful. He said his heart was beating like he had just really got into a situation. He said the guy came around because, you know, and you got back doors, right? Sometimes people got side doors and some people got back doors. He said the guy came around the corner, and he said it was a black guy that came around the corner, and he said he could see the gun in his hand. And I said, how were you able to see it? He said, because when he came around the corner, his motion sensor lit up, you know, showed him. He said he never, ever, ever, ever did anything like that again. Never did it. Never did anything like that again. I just don't believe that people should be able to put their hands on other people's stuff. I just don't believe it.
Investigators say the thieves were not just wearing face coverings, but they also had surgical gloves on, and they went directly to the jewelry repair store located inside the H-E-B. Now, police tell us one suspect pepper sprayed an employee while the others began smashing the display cases. Investigators say they stole jewelry, watches, and they fled the store. They got into an SUV that was waiting for them outside the store, and residents in the area are not happy this occurred.
It's bold, and our police department does a really good job of publicizing. So I'm hoping they get what's coming. I hope that somebody recognizes them and find out that League City is not the place to be doing that.
And again, these are the suspects that police are looking for. Originally, the call came in as shots fired, but later police said that was not the case. The suspects did not display a weapon. Again.
Yeah, but in other news, this is what else was happening in Houston at a similar time.
Continue to follow some breaking news near the 3rd Ward.
Yeah, this morning, Houston police searching for a man who shot and killed a worker who was out pressure washing at the time. Our own Ugochi Aloka joining us live from Calumet Street, where shots were fired just before 1 a.m. You were the first reporter to get your hands on that video that showed what happened. And obviously, this is a very tragic situation.
Ilona and Jacob, it really is. And I spoke to a witness here who wants to remain anonymous. He shared that surveillance video with me first that not only captures really the gunman in the act, essentially, it also sadly shows the shooting that happened right outside of this convenience store behind me. Now, I want you to take a look at your screen. This is video here of everything. We've zoomed in to show you how this all unfolded. It starts with a man in a pickup truck pulling up on a worker pressure washing restaurant supplies outside the convenience store. That's when the two start going back and forth with one another. Investigators tell us when the driver got out of his truck, the worker continued the exchange of words with the driver, and then the driver pushes him. Now, this is where we are choosing to stop the video because it's when the driver is seen shooting and killing the worker, sadly on camera. Here's what police say happened next.
The brother of our complainant was inside the store, came out and found his brother on the ground. So they called us, we got there. Homicide investigators are working on it. I'm pretty confident they're gonna figure out who this guy is.
You cannot get out of your vehicle in an argument, and I don't care who said what, and this is one of the reasons. Look, we've been talking about this Cincinnati conversation for a long time. Great conversation last night on After Hours. I love the fact that we have a diverse panel that we can look at it from all sides, and everybody don't necessarily always agree because nobody is a monolith, right? But here's the thing, and this is the thing that I push and I preach. I don't sit here and keep on going based off of what the circumstance is. I am always trying to be the person that's controlling the outcome. I tell my daughter that, listen, She called me yesterday. Dad, this is happening. I said, Les, you got to control the outcome. What's the end result that you want to deal with? She said, all right, so this is what I want at the end result. I said, how do you get there? What's the distance from where you are to where you get to? Or are you going to focus on all of this BS in between? Sometimes you got to take the outside route. Sometimes you can take the freeway. It just depends on whether or not that road is blocked off. My point is this. When I see situations like that, because I know that the short-sighted people and the people that can't think for themselves, they all say the same thing. Well, who started it first? And whose fault is it? And whether or not you can you can't control what happens once you piss somebody off and all of that. First of all, one of the reasons why that whole Cincinnati argument thing is weird to me is because most of the time people got a gun. Everybody ain't fighting no more. Everybody not going back and forth no more. Everybody not trying to figure it out. That's number one. Number two, I don't care how much you think you can fight or you can't fight. Everybody ain't out running a pistol. And so my thing is, all right, cool. What's my goal today? To make a lot of money and to make it home at night so I can do what I want to do. My goal, and this is what I try to teach young men. All right, look, self-defense, getting into it, all of that stuff, even carrying a pistol, that is an absolute last resort. Your goal today is to make it home tonight because your future children that are not born yet, your future wife that you got to keep from getting involved with somebody because you're going to get to her early, your mother, she needs to see you tomorrow. She's going to need for somebody to send her some money to go on vacation. You have a bright future. You got 1 million subscribers waiting for you. Are you so focused on trying to prove yourself to a person and show them that you the man? Or are you trying to get home so that you can make it to all of these beautiful things that God got lined up for you? Or do we got to prune your timeline because you just got to go and figure it out? Because you got to go and figure it out. All right, you know what? He said something to me. All right, my bad. You got it. All right, my bad. You got it. Do y'all know what an engineer is? You know what the main purpose? It doesn't matter if you're a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer, a prompt engineer, or a software engineer. Do you know what the purpose of an engineer is? Do you know why some people are smart enough to become engineers? Is because engineers are specializing in problem solving in whatever their respective field is. That's all we do. All an engineer is doing is trying to figure out how to get to the solution with the least amount of resistance. That's all we do. That's all an engineer. So when you have an engineering mindset, your goal is to try to avoid confrontation so that you can get to the best part of it and solve for the issue. That's all engineers do. They are problem solvers. They figure out how to make things easier. They figure out how to make things quicker. They figure out how to not break things or whatever. That's all an engineer does. Why do you think it's called social engineering? Why do you think that it's called social engineering? They are putting things in place to control the outcome of people. My goal in life is, as I interact with people, have the best possible outcome. That is it. That is it. They socially engineer you to think the way that they want you to think, and then you come over here thinking that you have a strong, you know what it is, this is the culture or whatever. You've been engineered to be a person that you are that is ignorant at best. That's all it is. Every talking point, half the talking points that you give me, you got it from somebody else. You don't even know where you heard it from. The way that you walk, the way that you talk, how it is that you see people, how you interact with people. The reason why it's so difficult for me to have these conversations with people, the reason why it's so difficult for me to have conversations with people is because I'm trying to re-engineer how they think. I'm trying to deprogram you, unlearn you, and try to convince you to do something different that you otherwise would have got yourself hurt on, would have got yourself killed on, but you just standing on business because of social engineering, the music, your mama, your culture, the women that affirmed you. They have done a number on you so much that it's so hard to get you to think or see that the possibility of having a better outcome is 10 times better than what your current circumstance is. And so it's difficult. And when I say, hey, we got to be proactive, we got to think before it even happened. We got to have preventative measures to even prevent ourselves from even getting back and forth with people. 100%. Sometimes I wear headphones, right? Am I listening to music? No. Am I talking on the phone? No. I'm proactively putting myself in a position to act like I don't hear or see anything, but I hear and see everything. It ain't nothing playing in my headphones, but I'm paying attention. And I'm acting like I'm not paying attention, but I'm very much paying attention to every single thing that's happening around me. I'm looking, I'm watching. I am scanning the area and I'm paying attention and I'm hearing what people are saying and I act like I don't hear nothing and I hear everything. And I'm walking around with my AirPod Pros on and you think that I don't see or I'm not hearing or whatever. And sometimes you say something, yeah, man, hey, you over there? And I act like I don't hear you. Because you're too ignorant to me to respond. But I got my headphones on to make it seem like I'm not hearing you because I'm listening to music. That way, I pick and choose the people that I want to interact with. If you are a super ignorant, dusty person, my headphones is the proactive measure to where I can pretend like I didn't hear you when you called my name. Got it going on. Hey, yo, hey, can I get a dollar, big dog? You over there, and then I see that pretty girl. Oh my God, I like your car. Oh, you like my car? Yeah, let me take these off real quick. I was listening to something, but I kind of overheard what you said. I put it in clear mode. Man, listen, everything I do is intentional. Everything I do is going to be intentional. I pray that prayer, Lord, give me the wisdom and the insight and the understanding to be able to outsmart the people that are around me before they even come into my presence. Bless me to identify the problem areas and the places that I don't need to be so that I can truly enjoy where it is that I am. That is my prayer. Lord, give me the insight and the understanding to understand whether or not this woman is for me and she really trying to come in here and work hard or if she trying to get the D. Because you know I have resistance issues. God bless me not to have an eye or ear for the people that I don't need to hear because sometimes they'll put poison in my mind or they'll try to have me feeling some type of way and then they'll disturb my peace and I can't have that, God. Preventatively give me the insight and the information to be able to make sure that I'm making the best decision every day. Every day. And I just be moving and weaving. Moving and weaving. And then she come up to you. Hey, what's going on? I said, Lord, bless me to see through these demons and see it for what it is. And you can't wait to get a compliment. Hey, what's up, baby? Oh, no, you know. Yeah, it's just me and my guy. And then I'll just whisper to you. If I know you, I'll whisper it to you. If I don't know you, I'll just be thinking to myself, well, that's a whole man over there that he talking to. He talking to a man right now. But God gave me that wisdom. He gave me the discernment. See, you fool. You got that liquid courage in you. You got that blurry vision because you've been drinking Corona extra all day. You're not focused. You can't even see. You talking to a whole nother man over there. That ain't no woman. That's a man. I'll just be looking like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, let me stop. Millionaire Derailment Show in motion.
Yeah, just a devastating thing to see, right? Your brother lying on the ground. I can't even imagine. Our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with that family as well, has to cope with that news this morning. But we know police tell us, hopefully because the encounter was captured on camera, they hope to track down the shooter. They hope it increases their odds of finding the gunman. And Alona and Jacob,
Don't
coming
wear
up in the next
AirPods,
hour,
Mika.
I'll actually show you where exactly that altercation happened and what else that witness told me.
Can we ask Ugochi, and I think I know the answer, but just in case, anything that the witness said or that you know of that they either talked or argued about, or anything that suggests why this turned into a deadly shooting so fast?
Keep on telling me, no, man, all women got mustaches. I said, dog, do you see his mustache? You see how big he is? He almost big, dog, muscle mass. No, that's how the women built today. The women today, they got broader shoulders and they tougher. But his voice is a little deep. Why you keep calling it a he, man? That ain't even that's a woman, dog. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, is that what you think? That's what you going with? All the women got mustaches now. Well, what about the beard? They be having beards too. Your mama didn't have a beard? No, my mama didn't have a beard, my nigga. Your mama didn't have, my mama had a beard. Do all the women got beards now? Yo, do all of the women got beards now? What are they putting in the food to give y'all these extra beards? I know y'all sometimes have a little shadow here. You know what I'm saying? But some of y'all straight up shaving. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? What's happening? Some elderly, I seen a woman that got the whole thing, like it's coming over her lip. Give her lined up. I also heard I heard a guy, I gotta find it on TikTok. I heard a guy says that he likes women and he ran into a trans and he's not gay because he liked that person and he still like them. I heard it. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I said, dog, I got to do a reaction video to this one. Yes, what he said. Oh, yeah. This is it. I'm going to do a reaction video to this later on today. Here it is. I don't be lying. I'll be telling the truth. I don't be lying. I'll be telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
One of the main questions I keep getting asked is, how did I meet my transgender fiance? And the story is kind of crazy. Like, I go and I play basketball at LA Fitness often. So one day I'm going to LA Fitness to play basketball. And as soon as I get there, I walk into the gym. And as soon as I walk into the gym, I just see somebody just skying over everybody and just dunk. Like, pow, just dunk. It was like a loud boom. Like, everybody in the gym went crazy. It was this crazy dunk. And then when I looked to see, like, damn, who dunked that? It turns out it was my future fiance. Of course, I didn't know at the time, but she was dunking on everybody at LA Fitness. And then when she dunked, she was like, ah. And then
I don't want to watch it because I like to react to it in real time. I'm telling you, bro, dog. It's some people living some crazy lives out here. It's some people living, Mika, it's some people living some crazy lives out here, bro. I'm not kidding. It's people that's truly living some crazy lives. And he tell a whole story and he goes into it apparently. So we gonna deep dive into it. As guys that say that. I said, no, dog, you gay. You telling me that you was talking to somebody, because I don't believe y'all, and I'm gonna move into the next story. Let me tell you something. I don't believe y'all. I think that a lot of y'all, let me get my Molly voice on. You guys are gay. I believe that guys that pretend like they didn't know that the person was a boy, then they talking to a man that got a wig on. Dog, for us regular people, you not running into somebody and you like, oh man, that's 100% woman. If you even got to think about it, if you got to question it, then you got to abandon ship. I don't believe that people are getting finessed the way that they saying they get finessed. Oh man, I didn't know it was a girl. I didn't know it wasn't a girl, it was a guy. No, you did. You knew. You knew. You knew. And what did you do when they pulled their pants down? Well, I didn't even wait to see if they pulled their pants down. I just got some head. So you got some head from a man then, nigga. You got some head. You knew that was a man. Them hands, nigga. Man hands are different than listen, under any circumstance, no matter what, I don't care how good their surgeon is, I don't care what country you in, look at their hands. Their hands are going to tell you everything. That's why guys that get leg lengthening surgery, it ain't gonna work for them. You know why? Because they still got T-Rex arms. Or their head is not proportioned to how long their legs is. Or their feet, they still wear a size 7 shoe in men's. You know what I'm saying? In women's. They wear a size 7 in women's. Like, it's got to be equally proportioned. And no matter what, when you look at the hands, you look at them elbows, ankles, feet, the man feet. Ain't no way in the world you're going to tell me them ain't man feet. Men's feet, they're a little more slightly circular at the end. They're a little more clubbed. Women's feet is petite. But see, you can't get feet shortening size. You know what I'm saying? So I know you just gotta look at the details. No matter how good the surgery is, that's a man hand. It's a man hand. Man, look at them feet. Nah, dog, that's them Neanderthal feet. 100%. Those are Neanderthal feet. No matter how long the fingers are, got hair coming out the top of the finger and all, man, that's a man hand. Ain't no way in the world you gonna sit there and trick me. And under no way, shape possible. That's a man hand all day long. And them man feet. I ain't never seen no man that's shaped like a woman naturally. I have never seen a man women are natural Coke bottles. Like the natural ones, even the ones I seen a woman peeing at a tree yesterday, even the ones that pee at the trees, they got a certain shape. You know what I'm saying? When you see guys and they dress and they walk, they try to overwalk and they overqualify themselves to be like women, they different. They move different. It's not the same. Like, no. Been on this earth too long to get tricked. Been on this earth too long to get tricked. Not you. Nope. You're never going to be able to cover every base. You're never going to cover every base. It's nothing that you can do. Not a wig that can help you is nothing that can help you. He's shaped like his mama. Oh, y'all are the worst. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Stop. Don't get me started. Stop. Oh. David Williams says, what does riches have to do with saving human life? I'm not really sure. I guess he's responding to when I said that some lives ain't worth. Oh, no. Okay, if that's the case, let me ask you a question. All right, let's look at it like this. Let's look at it from this lens. Is your life as a criminal, right? Because you're going to go to jail, you're going to do bad things to people. Is your life worth more than a bag of powdered donuts? And the reason that I say that is because it's not enough to just preserve life. It has to be preserving good life. Stop, M. Patterson. I'm not doing this with y'all today. I'm not doing this with y'all today. No. No. I'm not doing this with y'all today. No. Stop. I'm not doing this with y'all today. Stop. I'm not doing this with y'all today. No, I'm not doing this with y'all today. Did you talk to his mama? What did his mama say? Y'all are the worst. Y'all are the worst. That's why this show is 3 hours long. I ain't got but 6 subjects. And y'all make the show so much longer because y'all be, man, I don't be understanding. Quentin and Slimmy be complaining about the chat. I love the chat. Somebody said you ninjas don't think my life is worth a bottle of juice. Nope. You ain't got no profile picture. I don't. You ain't got no profile picture. I know your life ain't worth a bottle of juice. More Than Mellow says nieces and nephews are in Anchorage, Alaska, where I was born. They barely felt the earthquake. The tsunami is crazy. Lee Barton says even road rage will get you killed. When keeping it real goes wrong, I have a wife and daughters and don't have time to be fighting with everybody. Got to get home, bro. Demon Slayer says, I carry all the time. When I carry, I'm avoiding confrontation, not heading into it, especially when I'm with the family. People are way more emotional now. People be ready to crash out. Mr. Youngblood City says, just saying what up. I'm still out here trying to take over California like Peaky in the Brain. Shout out to Mr. Youngblood City. I appreciate you. Mika! I know Mika be happy she get a break on Tuesday because, wow. Good morning, AD. Remind me to never let you wear AirPods. No, sometimes I really do listen to music. See, now y'all gonna think every time I got AirPods in that I'm not listening to nothing. All it takes is one time to mess up your life, says Lee Barton. Facts. 392Q says looking like Miss Pearly off of front. Oh my God, you so crazy. Amethyst Angel says social engineers have been cast negatively because the positive ones are outnumbered. Negative engineers play the nefarious long game, in my opinion. Okay, I feel you. J Dubs says he's not regular gay, but he took Superman's cape and now he's super gay. Eric Wolf Harris says, if I catch my wife, Duncan, we getting a divorce. Sarge says, your fiance Dr. Duncan on ninjas at the gym, oh Lord. Main Law says, wait a minute, the dude bagged the trans while playing ball? At that, what in the blood clot? My black people are never going to operate at a high IQ. Manuel AG says trans women be built like a can of Red Bull. And you know what else, Manuel AG? You know what I hate the most? All right, we got to really get into the show. We got to get into the show for real, y'all. We behind enemy lines, dog. We behind enemy lines. You know what I hate? You know what I hate more than anything? Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it. I didn't save it. I didn't save it. They got this challenge where like women are morphing, or they put their top 4 or they top 3 homegirls in with it. I forgot what the name of the songs be or whatever. But they got this challenge where it be like that, right? And I guess the gay girls is now doing it, right? The gay girls is doing it. And so I can't stand when a chick is bad as hell. Bad as hell, but then they actually a dude, or they project themselves to be a dude. Like that aggravates me. It's like, you a waste of pretty. You could have gave that up to somebody. Why would you want to try to be like a man? Why you trying to be a man? Why you trying to be butch? I'ma dress like a boy. I'ma cover up my titties. I'ma suppress them. You know what I'm saying? They be pretty as hell. And then every once in a while, they'll pop up on Instagram with a dress on. See, I could show off. I'm still a girl. And you be like, you just wasted. You're a waste. You're a waste of pretty. What a pretty dumb chick. Just messed up. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue on into the show, y'all. We got to get it popping, all right? So the Trump administration, we got to go into USAID fraud. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what's going on with USAID.
More fraud revealed at USAID last month. Roderick Watson, a former federal contracting officer, pled guilty to taking over $1 million in bribes while working at USAID and funneling contracts to 2 consulting firms. The scheme, spanning a decade, involved $550 million in federal contracts through a small business administration program. The New York Post writing, quote, the USAID official received cash, laptops, thousands of dollars in tickets to a suite at an NBA game, a country club wedding, down payments on 2 residential mortgages, cellular phones, and jobs for relatives from the 3 businessmen as part of this scheme. Joining me now is Small Business Administrator Kelly Loeffler. Kelly, good morning. What action is the SBA going to take in response to this investigation? And also, what happens to these contracts?
Well, good morning, Cheryl. Great to be with you. Look, the Trump administration has a zero-tolerance policy on fraud and corruption in federal government. So we're going after them. When we saw the DOJ prosecute $550 million in a fraudulent bribery scheme, we said we need a 15-year look-back audit on everything in federal contracting for small businesses. That's what we're doing right now. We have a 15-year retroactive audit ongoing right now. But what I'm announcing today on your show, Cheryl, is the fact that we have now rescinded the independent contracting authority of USAID because they operate a massive federal government contracting program. And so they can no longer oversee their government contracting for small businesses. We're standing up to corruption in the Trump administration that was allowed to proliferate under the Biden administration. So we're taking.
What do you know why so many houses hit the market once the Trump administration came into office and they started doing the Department of Government Efficiency? It wasn't because people was being laid off. It's because the people was scared of the Department of Government Efficiency. They were afraid. That is why people in DC, you wonder why all of these houses, and you say, man, how do these people have these regular jobs? You know, just like how they used to be on HGTV. I'm a beekeeper. I'm a flower girl. And we're looking for a house that costs $4 million. Man, these people are finessing. The federal government is ripe with fraud, waste, and abuse. And let me tell you how bad liberals are. They are willing to keep up the system in order to make sure that, oh my God, because it's some flies and some Africans' eyes over there, and we got to make sure that we sent them 50 cents a day. And they're willing to keep up the charade. And it's the same thing when it comes to welfare. It's the same thing when it comes to the healthcare system. The healthcare system, boy, I can't wait till they start to audit the healthcare system. The healthcare system is ripe with fraud. It's ripe with fraud. And I realized that once I started getting my own concierge doctor and whatever, any type of prescription that I got to get. if Rita gets sick or something like that, and then they say, all right, this is how much it's going to cost you, in order to just buy it straight out. And I was like, that don't make no sense. That's less than what it cost me in copays. So wait a minute. If I just buy this thing outright, it costs me less than what I would have to pay in a copay, while at the same time they're still charging the insurance company for whatever it is services going on. And then the people just be looking like this. I can't believe it. I'm like, wait a minute. So I can pay less in this over the counter for no insurance, and it costs me less than what it would have costed me in copays with the insurance, and they're billing the insurance company. Dog, insurance is the biggest scam, K. Cooper. The only type of insurance that I believe is reasonable is life insurance. Like, more people need to get life insurance. But outside of that, if you don't have it if you're getting it through your job, then take advantage of it. But man, I'm telling you, most of these insurance companies, most of this stuff is finesse, bro. All of these systems that is stood up is finessing taxpayers. It is finessing taxpayers. It's taking money out of our pocket and running it up. I was talking to a woman the other day, and I forgot something happened. It was something like, oh, I know what happened. I ran into somebody on the streets, and remember when y'all was telling me yesterday, and y'all said, Anton, what would you do if you ever became governor or you ever became a legislator? I said, my biggest thing would be to drive down costs. And I said, one of the things that I would want to do is try to eliminate taxes, eliminate income taxes, state income taxes. I think that it's an abuse. I think it's fraud. I think that people are over leveraging the federal government. They building it up. If you've ever been in corporate America, for example, right? If you've ever been in corporate America, you know the scams that is happening in corporate America with contractors. What do contractors do in corporate America? I tell you, anytime that you have a contractor there, you know what their job is? Their job is not to complete the job. Their job is to make sure that they can try to get as much billing as they can to whoever it is that they're charging. That is the job of anything in corporate, whether you in a department and you work for the company or whether or not you're actually a contractor. The goal is to increase their bonuses are built. I'm going to teach you something today. Their bonuses are built in based off of how much you can bill the client. Lawyers, they're not looking to get you off. Lawyers are looking to have a great reputation so that they can have a higher rate and billable hours. It is all about billable hours. It is all about how much you can cost the company. It is always about what you can make sure if you get a contract, you're never incentivized to be under budget. You know why? You're incentivized as a contractor to either be right there at the budget, so we got to make sure that we hire as many people as we can so we can bill them, and that is how you then generate a lot of revenue inside of your company that you are using in order to get this federal contract, to get this local contract, all of that. Every single thing that happens in the majority of corporate America, even the ones that actually work for the company, the departments, how they structure their budget, and this is how you know that a company is too big. They structure their budgets based off of how much they can bill. When you get into these systems, and do you know you a salary worker, but you got to bill to a specific project or whatever, they allocate budgets to these projects. That's how you're able to get your funding in your department. Your boss is not there to oversee you as a worker. This is the common misconception of what y'all really think happens in corporate America. And this is the uncovering of what goes on when you get to the executive ranks. Your boss is not there to micromanage you. Your boss is not there to give you direction. Your boss is not there to give you anything to help you do your job better. Your boss is there as a lobbyist. Your boss is a figurehead. They are the same things that happen inside of the federal government. They're lobbying for more dollars for their department in order to ensure that they keep people working. That is the job of most of the bosses inside of corporate America. They are lobbying. They're going to their boss, and then they're pitching this project, and then they're trying to get this date so that they can say, okay, so listen, They're going to take what y'all looked at and what project y'all built to. Your pay is going to be the same, but you got to build to a specific project. We need to build 8 hours to this today. We need to build 8 hours to that project. Hey, bill it to this project so that they can come through with the spreadsheet and they say, hey, listen, this is how many billable hours we use for this project. It's going to take this resource. We're going to need a scrum master. We're going to need 2 project managers. We're going to need this. We're going to need that. And you know what y'all do in those meetings? Y'all don't talk about nothing. They don't talk about anything. Oh, this lug nut, we're going to have to go and call somebody because that's not in the job description. It's going to cost them $20,000 in order to get this project off the ground with the luck nut. When you learn the game, it's easier to navigate it, and that's how people make the money. This is what women don't understand, and this is what I used to tell them in the coaching calls. Your job is not to do a great job. Your job is to be reasonable in how you work and to make people like you and to learn the game. The game is learning how to get billable hours and how to make other people rich. The game is trying to figure out how you can make your boss look good and add value into the company. The game is to be likable. And so while y'all out there fighting, talking about your hair in corporate America, oh my God, I got laid off. You're not playing the same game as everybody else. And it's the same game in government contracts and politics. It's the same game when it comes to corporate America. It's the same game when it comes to small business. Why do you think that people care so much about who gets into office in local politics? I can teach you because I've been there. I've done it. I've been in the room. It's about billable hours. It has nothing to do with anything else. If you're a lawyer, it's billable hours. If you are in corporate America, it's billable hours. It's making sure that we can structure the project to make sure that you're billing to the right project. That's it. That's all it is. And being a likable person and a cultural fit, you will go far. You will go far. You keep on thinking that it's all about how hard I work. And oh my God, I've been typing all day and all of that. Nobody care nothing about that. You're not going nowhere. You're going to be in that same position complaining about the fact that you have no upward mobility because you don't have a coach like Anton from AntonDaniels.com to break it down and help you go every single day and help you to get that promotion. And Anton going to come through and I'm going to show you how to negotiate your pay range. I'm going to show you how to get the equity into the company. I'm going to show you how to take less money up front, more money on the back end, and we're going to leverage that back end in order to run up a bigger bag because you'll get a lower interest rate and you're going to be able to limit the amount of money that you have to pay in taxes. That's the game. And because black people and white people and people that are in the middle, they don't know the game. And so that's why the rich get richer and the poor get poor, because you don't have access to the information and you keep on buying courses and you keep on going to networking events and you keep on doing this and you keep on doing that. You playing the wrong game. You in the wrong game. You in the wrong building. We teach each other how to be workers. We teach each other how to do this. We don't teach each other how to leverage and get the information and how you use it more effectively. You want to know why it's such a big pay gap between you and your coworkers? Because you don't know the game. You in the wrong game, baby. You in the wrong, you short-sighted. You short-sighted. You in the wrong game. I mean, you can get mad at me and you can sit there and say, oh, Anton, I don't like this. Anton, I don't want, listen, you want to win and get rich, or you want to just sit there and talk? Because I shouldn't even be telling you this much. This is stuff that I need to be reserving for what I talk to my bag chasers. This is what we really talk about. These are the type of conversations that we deep dive into. When we get past the dick and the pussy conversations and we do these live streams inside of the bag chasers and we do Q&As, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to give you a real life snapshot and picture, and then you got to apply it to your circumstance and your situation. You don't want to play. You don't want to play the right game. You too busy trying to be tough. You don't want to use your pretty privilege. You don't want to show just a little bit of cleavage because you think that you going to get promoted because you just a hard worker. No, you're not. You're not. and you're going to be poor and you're going to be broke and you're going to keep on complaining about your situation. You in the wrong game. You in the wrong game and don't even know what you're doing. You a fool. You a fool. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Back that authority at the SBA, and we're looking across all federal agencies to restore confidence in this program.
Well, this, of course, amid the complete dismantling of the USAID program. I mean, that was one of the very first targets of DOGE. So thank you for letting us know and breaking that news here on our show. We certainly appreciate that. 15 years going back, that's quite an audit. If you're an accountant, Kelly, how long do you think that's going to take?
Well, Cheryl, the important thing to know about this program is we're going agency by agency, but we're moving quickly. We have to hold people accountable who are bad actors, who are taking opportunities from small businesses and taking taxpayer dollars for criminally corrupt activities that the American people suspect are out there, but no one has ever held them accountable.
Y'all know why Diddy got prosecuted? Y'all know why Diddy got prosecuted? Y'all don't really know why Diddy got prosecuted. You think that they really gave a damn about Cassie, huh? You think that they really cared about the Punisher. Y'all thought that Diddy was on trial for RICO? Do you really believe? I'm going to give you the game. Diddy wasn't on trial for a RICO. Diddy was on trial for additional funding for the department that was prosecuting him. Diddy was on trial for funding for Homeland Security. You think, y'all really think, while they keep you entertained and while you sit there and argue, you think that Diddy was on trial for a RICO that they had no evidence on? You thought that they found something other than baby oil? Diddy was on trial for funding. That's it. In order for a department to justify how much money is going to get from the federal government and taxpayers so that they can build the budget, they have to be able to prosecute cases and bring visibility to the people that are famous. You got to land some hard cases, baby. This ain't no different than private corporate. And yes, multiple things can be true at the same time. I do also believe that there's some other factors like him suing Diageo and all of that. But dude, you don't get it, do you? You still don't get it. You still don't get it, do you? You think that this is the same? You think we all playing the same thing? We not playing the same game at all. We not playing the same game. You think that your podcast is going to pop off because, let me stop. Let me be quiet. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. We not playing the same thing. We playing a whole nother game. We playing a whole different thing. You don't get it. You don't get it. So she's shaping up his fade. Facts. YN wanted to crash to put on 95 the other day. Who argues on a highway? Zoom? Yeah, I'm out of there. You're not getting me to pull over on a highway. Mr. Lott says, Anton, bro, tell me I didn't just hear a dude say he fell in love with grandmama. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He 100% does. John McCulloch says there are waste of female body space, especially when they pretty. That's why they want you to be in the office. When I told everybody to go in the office, they was fighting against me. When I told everybody to go in the office, they was fighting against me. I love my show. I love my show. I love what we do over here at the Millionaire Morning Show. Let's get into this, y'all. I want to deep dive into this for a little bit because I told y'all the other day that the Trump administration was getting hard. Paul, I don't say pause. I'm a grown man. It's getting hard and tough on cities that have homelessness problems, mainly blue cities. they're getting hard and tough on cities that are having homelessness problems, maybe blue cities. But the mayors and the governors of these cities, including Chicago and Philly, feel some type of way about it. All right. So I want to deep dive into this a little bit and have a conversation. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. We're gonna start with Brandon Johnson, y'all. Our favorite.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
The Trump administration, Trump has issued an EO to make it easier to institutionalize unhoused people. Do you agree with it? And if not, how would Chicago fight it?
Should you repeat that question in his executive order to do what?
To make it easier to institutionalize unhoused people.
Institutionalize them.
Yes.
You mean to incarcerate them?
It's not jail, but take them if they seem to need treatment, whether forcibly or voluntarily.
Well, look, I've made critical investments within our Department of Family Support Services to work in a strategic and a sensitive, thoughtful way of how we treat those who are unhoused, some of whom have severe mental health issues. So my approach is what we have done, as we have worked within these encampments around the city to find services and support for these individuals. I believe that the best way in which we go about doing that is to help move people along and convince them that these are the services that are beneficial for them. That's my approach. I think anything that you do to force something on someone, you're certainly not setting them up for success.
You are not setting people up for success that continue to take advantage of the system. I'm just going to tell you right now. I already told y'all what it's like dealing with homeless people. I've already told you some of my stories. I've even called my mother and she explained exactly what it's like dealing with people. And it's not even the fact that they are homeless. A lot of times the homelessness is a result of other decisions that they make and they 100% refuse the help. They refuse the services, but they feel entitled to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do and say what they want to say, and they can spit on you and they can say wild stuff to you, and they feel like they should be able to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it without any kind of consequence. So right now there is this raging debate amongst liberal cities about how they handle homelessness, especially with the executive order. Now, I have the opinion that if blue cities had the solution for how it is that they solve for homelessness, then they would have dealt with it by now. But they haven't, and so we're going to deep dive into it.
Local cities are reacting to a newly signed executive order from President Trump aimed at making it easier to force homeless people off the streets and into hospitals. NBC 10's Lauren Make is live in Center City with more on what it means for Philadelphia and South Jersey. Lauren.
Jacqueline, this area where I am right now was at one point a symbol for the housing and homeless challenges in the city. There were tents right here 5 years ago. They stretched down that direction towards the art museum. And now this new order from the president could give cities more options, but it's also raising questions. In Camden County, officials are aiming to get more people services.
We have a van going up and down the streets in Camden and somewhat into Gloucester City and asking homeless people, do they want a job for the day? And we pay them $75 to help us clean streets or parks, provide a service. And we use that job as a way to attract them into getting services.
Louis Capelli is a Camden County commissioner. He's skeptical of a new executive order from President Trump that would make it easier for local governments to commit individuals for treatment who the order says are a risk to themselves or others.
My gut is the folks that he's talking about will wind up in alligator or Alcatraz.
Now they're going to wind up in alligator Alcatraz. Okay. Nixon, I don't usually respond to people with no profile photo because, and I'm trying to give y'all a little bit of grace. I'm trying to give y'all a little bit of time. On August 1st, I think I'm going to have a hard stop on interacting with and talking to. And it doesn't mean that you can't talk into the chat and that you shouldn't subscribe, but I'm going to put a hard stop on talking to people that don't have a profile photo because I honestly, in my mind, I think that y'all jerk off in y'all socks. However, Nixon Keefe says, question, why do you, Anton, and Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson First of all, I can't speak for anybody. I can only speak for myself. Spit on homeless. Now, the reason that he's able to say that is because I removed all censorship here in this chat. All right. So let me just say this right now. I don't know if you're new here. I don't know if you're just trolling. I don't know what it is, but I am one of the most compassionate people when it comes to my own personal resources. Nope, no nonprofit setup, no none of that. I actually go out into the streets on a regular basis and I give money and feed people. I give thousands. Sometimes, some weeks, because I tab to the streets, I give over $1,000 a day. It adds up to being about $1,000 a day. Sometimes I've given over $20,000 to $25,000 in a month in direct money to people on the streets. I feed people every single day. I have volunteered relentlessly, worked weekends with homeless people. I have worked with them on housing. I've dealt with dope fiends and all of this stuff. I have people that I interact with every day on my path. And that's one of the reasons why it's difficult for me to stay away for too long, because I know that there are people that need some money that I deal with on the streets. So when I see people that say stuff like that, bruh, it's documented. I am on the streets making sure that people have something to eat every single day that I'm downtown. Every day. So when I hear people say stuff like that to me, I know that they're just speaking on the ignorance. I often at time would like to ask them if they had a profile picture, what exactly do you do for people? What do you do for people? What do you do for people? In order for somebody to really hold somebody accountable, and this is one of the reasons why I said nobody can really hold me accountable, you're going to have to tell me what you do. You're going to have to tell me what you're going to have to show me, bro. I know the spirit of these people. I know that most of these people, 97, 98% of these people, they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to say, hey, in order for you to have a place to sleep tonight, you got to be here before 10 o'clock, before 11 o'clock. It be empty beds that's available for people that don't have nowhere to sleep. They prefer to go sleep on the church steps because they want to get up and go when they want to get up and go. And they don't care nothing about what you're talking about. I know the game. They're going to ask you, listen, this is the game. This is what they told me. They say that you got to ask people for a weird amount of money. Hey, can I get 80 cents? Because I'm trying to figure out how to catch the bus. They know you don't have 80 cents. They know you don't have 30 cents. They know this. So you're going to be more likely to give them $1, $5, or whatever. Right? All of them has got to play. All of them got a game, bro. They don't want to give up the dope. They don't want to give up the heroin. They don't want to give up that boy. They don't want to give up that girl. They don't want to give up a lot of stuff. And so what they do is they choose to live on their own terms, even if it makes you uncomfortable, even if you're driving by and say, oh my God, I can't believe that they got tarps up and tents up. Man, they chose to do that. They rocking out. They are rocking out. I promise you, bro. I deal with these people, and they are some of the most difficult people. You think your old lady difficult to deal with? You think your girlfriend difficult to deal with? Go and work with homeless people and see how they talk. Go and volunteer before Thanksgiving. Go volunteer and deal with homeless people for 2 days straight and see how that changed your perspective about life and how people are choosing to rock out here in the United States of America. It'll move you differently. You'll have a whole nother look. You'll turn evil. People that work in nonprofits that often have to deal with homeless people, you got to have a certain type of spirit. You will get angry and you will turn evil, and your heart will start to get cold a little bit because you'll realize that people are just going to be people and they going to do what they want to do whenever they want to do it. Sometimes it's even better for y'all to stay out of the trenches because you got this perception, this rosy perception of how things really are when that's not the truth. You will go into and help somebody and it'll turn your heart cold. I honest to God, you will start a business and go to hire people and try to pour into your community, and you'll turn evil. You'll become a villain. You'll go. I remember we bought a house that we was gonna put people in, and we were going. You know, it was a house, and I'm not gonna say what the neighborhood was, but it was a house. And we was working on it, and so we got some stuff that was delivered that was supposed to be installed the same day. That same night, it was gone. Putting up new windows the same night that the windows was removed. It'll turn your heart cold when you try to do good for people and they do you dirty. It'll turn your heart, you will turn into a villain. Some of y'all just need to stay out because you don't even have the spirit to help people, because you don't realize that them people is going to kick you. They gonna curse you. They gonna spit on you. They gonna throw the food that you give them and they gonna throw it on the ground. You gonna give somebody some money and they gonna immediately beeline. They not even gonna say thank you. They gonna beeline straight to the dope man. Straight to the dope man. You ain't got a spirit to help people. You ain't got a spirit you don't even know what it means to really have to deal with people that are less than. You have no clue what it's like. No clue what it's like.
Alcatraz type facilities. I don't believe him. If he was true to his word, sure, we'd love to have additional resources to do what we're already doing here.
The order also tells agencies to prioritize grants to places that enforce things, including open illicit drug use and what it calls urban camping. President Trump today talking to reporters as he left the White House. He moved beyond our camera, but you can hear him answer a question about the order referencing homeless encampments.
Oh, it is. It's right outside there. It's intense. I'm getting rid of them right now. You can't do that, especially in Washington, D.C. I talk to the mayor about it all the time. I said, you got to get rid of the tent. You can't have it.
In Philadelphia, an encampment during the pandemic stretched down the Parkway in Center City.
It felt unsafe.
Drew Murray lives in the neighborhood. He's a Republican who has run for office in the city.
Let's just try it. I don't know if it's the right decision or not, but I feel like let's try it and see how it happens. As long as we do it in a humane way and don't criminalize homelessness, I think let's give it a try.
Murray says he'd also like to see the federal government offer more money to help.
The drug addiction that we're seeing.
We tired of putting money into there. We tired of taxpayer dollars, and y'all keep telling people where they got to spend their money. We sick of it, bro.
President Trump signing an executive order this week making it easier for towns and cities to remove homeless people from the streets and pushing for the removal of consent decrees regarding homelessness. The move has since been met with both positive and negative reactions from politicians and community leaders across Oregon. We spoke with Tung Yen, a law professor at Lewis and Clark College, about the ways in which this directive might affect consent decrees currently in place here in Oregon.
President Trump Thursday signing a new executive order on homelessness. It's called Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets. The order directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to lift limits on how cities relocate homeless people and shifts federal resources toward rehab and treatment. It also speeds up funding for states that crack down on drug use, urban camping, and loitering, while also working to improve the systematic tracking of sex offenders. Another key aspect of the order, a push to terminate consent decrees that may, quote, impede the administration's policy of encouraging the forced commitment of unhoused individuals with mental illness. Lewis and Clark College professor Tung Yen says although there may be a federal push to pull back on consent decrees like this, that doesn't mean that states such as Oregon will necessarily make those moves.
But if a state is thinking, we don't think that we think that's too easy of a standard for involuntary commitment, that will violate people's rights. We don't think that forcible drug treatment works. We think it has to be desired by the person. If a state has that particular view, you can take away any sort of limitations that a consent decree in place has. But that doesn't mean that that government will then all of a sudden do what the Trump administration wants.
And Yen adds that although there may not be legal mechanisms that the federal government can use to pressure unyielding states into terminating these decrees, they may pursue alternative avenues.
Then you may get a situation where the federal government will want to try to force states to be more aggressive in dealing with homeless problems. The problems of homeless people.
It's a hard problem to solve because it's difficult to get the people to do what they're supposed to do. The problem with homelessness in the United States of America has nothing to do with the fact that there aren't enough for people. The problem is that people don't want to be productive citizens in society, and they want to do whatever it is that they want to do. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats. I see some of y'all. So listen. If you call my name and you don't have a profile photo, it's less likely that I'm going to recognize you because you're not a real person. Smarty McFly says, watching the sign language guy listening to Future. Yeah, I was looking at that too. I was trying not to make a big deal about it. The one that was next to Brandon Johnson. Michelle says, you are speaking facts. I live in Baltimore, and in a blizzard, the streets are empty because homeless people absolutely have somewhere to go. That's a fact. In the summertime, nope. The main law says, have you talked about the issue with people coming over from other countries that are trying to introduce the Sharia law in America? I haven't seen anybody trying to introduce Sharia law in America. I haven't seen it. If you've seen it, let me know. Supreme by Nature TV says, what up, though? Thank you to Supreme by Nature TV. I appreciate you. Rush King says, AD, the homeless people always have some long story, too. My mom got cancer last week. My dad got in a car accident yesterday, and my baby mama left me. Please, I just need $2.36 for gas. Please, Freaka Jason, give me $2.36 for gas. 50% simp. I appreciate you for holding me down. Thank you, my friend, for the fireball. I love it. I love it. All right, let's continue on with the show. Y'all said lock people up for drugs? Yeah. You got to grind, man. You got to grind. You got to hustle. What we got going on right here? What's next up? Oh, AI and ChatGPT. Let's talk about it because ChatGPT has been releasing a lot of new features. Obviously, we got other AI-enabled models that are also releasing different features. I know ChatGPT recently releasing, or they're dropping Agent. Agent allows for you to be able to basically go and have it do tasks for you. Hey, go and find me something to wear. And in addition to that, go ahead and pick me something out, purchase it, have it shipped to this address, and then book me a flight on this and that, and so on and so forth. So ChatGPT, for example, and these new models of ChatGPT, and I've been talking about AI a lot lately, are basically allowing for people to replace people that would do all of these different things with these online models that basically do and complete all of these tasks for you. Hey, what is the latest wedding gear? Go ahead and make sure you book me something because I got to go to a wedding on this next weekend, and make sure you get me a first class flight and all of that. And then it basically goes out and it scours the internet. It does what it needs to do, and then it finds all of the stuff, and then it gets you to confirm it, and it purchases everything and gets you taken care of. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But that's not the only things that's being upended by AI. I want to deep dive a little bit into this.
The fast food drive-thru is getting an AI upgrade.
This guy, Rich Jamil, here to show us how artificial intelligence is taking orders in today's Rich on Tech. Good morning.
Hello and welcome to Rich on Tech. May I take your order?
Yes, please.
Like that?
No, hold the pickles.
There you go. Think about your last drive-thru experience. The speaker could be staticky, and sometimes it might feel like there's a disconnect between you and that order taker. Well, now, as you might expect, AI is stepping in to make ordering faster, clearer, and more efficient.
Order when ready, please.
The next time you visit a drive-thru, you might be surprised who's taking your order.
Honestly, it's the best tool we have ever gotten. I love it.
Anything else for you today?
No, thank you.
Hey, I've got it.
At this Wiener Schnitzel in Pico Rivera,
we're known for the chili cheese dog and the chili. It's really good.
The person taking your order isn't a person at all.
She is so smart. She knows everything. Everything from every menu item down to the last one.
Would you like barbecue, ranch, or buffalo dipping sauce?
Barbecue.
It's an AI voice system, and it takes orders clearly and quickly, freeing up humans for other jobs.
As soon as she's taking the order, she's greeting them, she's upselling them, they're bagging, they're cooking, they're making a shake.
The tech comes from a company called Presto. They're also working with Carl's Jr. and Taco John's.
So from a restaurant perspective, you get greater revenue or greater check size, and you also have more efficient or less labor costs. So you get
more efficient and less labor costs means that you don't have to worry about somebody that's at the window or somebody in the drive-thru making a difficult decision. See, I told y'all, I said that all y'all doing was expediting the innovations that they're going to use and that they're going to use in order to make sure that they replace you. Because now you don't have to deal with no bad attitudes. Now you just talking to an AI model and they just making adjustments and they upselling you and they can do it way better than a human being. So now you're going to have two people working at a fast food restaurant, and now you can really afford to pay them $25 an hour. Now you can really afford to pay them $25 an hour. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, yo, Anton, you know who really got AI bad? Women. Women are obsessed. It's not even really a guy thing. Women are obsessed. Women are using AI as their best friends. In some cases, I think that we're going to, at some point within the next couple of years, probably get some new developments of AI, like somebody got an AI disease as far as like they're obsessed with it. They can't disconnect from it. All of this stuff. Women are obsessed. Women are talking to AI like it's their best friend. They giving them names. They giving them names and they just obsessing over it. And I was talking to somebody the other day and they told me that they asked AI to tell them the hard truth with no fillers about what was going on as far as their perspective and how it is that they move and their relationship and all of this stuff. And they said that AI broke down the whole, I said, I just was looking like, I don't want to be that connected, bro. I don't want to be that connected, man. Listen. I'm warning y'all. You have to have balance. You have to have balance. I want to be connected when it comes to completing more work-related tasks and making life easier as far as some of the things that I'm able to do quicker and take care of business. I am not going to tell AI, and if you don't think that it is keeping tabs on you through your account, all of the things that you've said to it, then you are crazy. You are crazy. And people are having whole breakdowns of what they need to be doing in their relationship and how they can communicate what their thoughts are to their man more effectively and stuff. And I said, women using it differently than gas. Women is using it differently than gas. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. In real life, women are using AI differently than gas.
When Kelly Huff Rogers picked up her rental car from Hertz in the Atlanta airport, she says she wasn't told the company was using a new AI tool to inspect the car for damages before and after her trip.
We didn't see any damage.
But she says she got this bill shortly after returning the car, an $80 charge for a dime-sized dent and another $115 in processing fees for a total of $195. In your opinion, did you cause any undue, unexpected damage to this car?
Outside of highway driving and local street driving, we didn't do any other types of driving. So no, I would think that whatever happened would have been considered normal wear and tear.
Complaints like hers are popping up on social media after Hertz began testing automatic inspection scanners at 6 U.S. airports, including Atlanta, Houston, and Newark. Here's how it works. Renters drive through an archway of 360-degree cameras that instantly capture thousands of high-resolution images of every angle of the car, even the undercarriage. Then artificial intelligence compares the images from pickup and drop-off and flags any changes, including minor dents and scuffs.
This is superficial items on the hood of the car where nobody's noticing or detecting.
Adam Foley says Hertz charged him $350 for damages he says he couldn't even see. When he tried to dispute the charges on the app's chat feature, he says he could never get to a human service agent. Foley says he won't pay until he's able to talk to someone at Hertz.
It's an automated tree of options and prompts and all an AI-generated chatbot that just answers and points.
Well, you ain't got to worry about me ever using Hertz. I don't use Hertz anyway. I don't ever care for Hertz. But you don't ever have to worry about me using Hertz. I'm gonna just keep on sticking with Enterprise and National.
Back to the charges, explains the charges.
Hertz said they confirmed billable damage had been detected and added of the 250,000 rentals scanned so far, more than 97% showed no billable damage, and damage incidents are declining at scanner-equipped locations. The company acknowledging it is still in the early stages and listening to customer feedback.
I think they need to realize that these technologies are not infallible. Because it's a computer doesn't mean it doesn't make mistakes.
While Hertz offers a discount to drivers who pay within 24 hours, Huff Rogers says that deal expired while she tried reaching someone at Hertz, so she ended up paying the full bill. UVI, the company behind the technology, said in part, the goal is to surface issues early, reduce confusion, and give customers greater confidence in the process. Avis Budget Group, which includes Zipcar, is also testing automated scanners, and Sixt deployed a version of the tool called CarGate. But the new technology is driving some customers away. Huff Rogers says what should have been a fun family vacation ended on a sour note.
Are you done with Hertz? I think we are done with Hertz.
Yeah, I'm straight. You ain't never got to worry about me ever going to Hertz on that type of time.
It's called Study Mode, the newest tool from OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence chatbot that since bursting onto the scene in November 2022,
AI has made cheating incredibly easy. It's a cheater's dream.
Has frustrated college professors like Duke University's Oren Starn.
How much has AI impacted your classroom?
It's had a huge impact. What I've been starting to see is more and more students handing in assignments that were all or partly written by AI.
But OpenAI CEO Sam Altman says higher ed needs to change.
And I already think college is maybe not working great for most people.
And today, his company says Study Mode is designed to help students learn something, not just finish something.
Here's how it works. If you've used ChatGPT before, you provide it with a prompt. I need a 500-word essay on Orwell's 1984. It immediately gives you the essay. Now, in this new mode, if you click on Study and Learn, ask it the same thing, it's not just going to spit the exact essay out for you. It's going to go about it more like a tutor, saying, before we jump in, can you tell me a little bit about the assignment, asking me questions to help me write it.
Wall Street Journal tech columnist Joanna Stern says the choice is now in users' hands.
There's nothing stopping a student from getting the answer. That cat is out of the bag. There are so many AI tools that will provide the answer for you.
Or a learning version. OpenAI competitor Anthropic launched a similar tool to Study Mode back in April for institutions. AI already a huge part of education. A recent Gallup poll shows 6 in 10 teachers use it as a tool for their work. And startups like the Alpha School use AI software to power core curriculum as early as kindergarten.
Artificial intelligence is sort of the future, whether we like it or not. I think it's something that is already a part of our lives on a daily basis.
The issue now, how students will choose to use it.
And that's where we pick it up. Savannah Sellers joins us.
Honestly, I'm just thankful that I was raised at the time that I was raised, and I think that I was raised at the best time in the world. To where I had an authentic blend between, a real childhood that we didn't necessarily have to have phones, let alone AI, versus today. It's insane. It's just 100% insane. And so it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it is. It's a little scary. I will say that it's a little scary because there is no limit to the things that we do and how we're using this technology to ultimately serve us. It's very, very scary. It's very, very scary. But we're racing towards the bottom, and we'll get there very soon. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. It's a race to the bottom, but what are you going to do about it? Fight, complain. Il Brando says, I seen a chick talking to AI like it was her pops. They talk to it like it's a real companion. Supreme by Nature TV says, my brother loved being homeless so much he moved back to my mom's home and built a tent in her backyard. That's crazy. I used to think Enrique was Carrie's husband. Oh my God. King Willie. King Willie says, Anton, I have 2 wives. All right. Thank you for the 50 ball, King Willie. Thank you. I have kids with one, and the other is my white AI wife who advises me on my business endeavors. Mandy got his pockets fat. Okay, well, run it up. Run it up. So AI is your other wife, big dog, King Willie? Jesus, Lord have mercy. Anyways, let's end this off with a fun subject because we've been talking and doing different things and addressing different issues, from the tsunami all the way to homelessness, to crime in the local Houston area, all of that stuff, right? So I want to end this with something that may be a little bit more entertaining. I haven't seen it yet, but I seen it pop up on the algorithm, and maybe it came as a result of something else that I was talking about. But Fat Joe and Jadakiss. So one of the conversations that Fat Joe and Jadakiss is having is that they were saying that athlete money is different. All right. Apparently that's what they was talking about. They saying that rap money ain't athlete money. And so I always like to get into a good conversation about money. And so let's get into it, y'all.
I'm a little upset.
For 2 years.
Yo, and I don't get jealous, man. I'm a little upset. I looked up this week. I guess they started the trades and all that this week. It's like 5 NBA players in a row with $100 million and better. Do you know what rappers got to do to make $100 million? What's the percentage of rappers that ever made $100 million?
Couple rappers made $100 million. Not for rap.
Yo, how you watch these basketball players? They say it. No, you watching ESPN, this shit is like, yeah, Julius Randle, $100 million, 3-year deal. 267. I think Ponchero got, but somebody SGA. What's SGA got?
274.
What?
Ponchero got 287 for 5, and
how
Shea
much
got
SGA got?
270 something for 4.
What the fuck? What am I doing wrong?
You don't know how to shoot the turnaround. You got the leg for the Euro. You already got the leg for the first jump of the Euro. Look, I
got the. Yeah. I ain't got the fluidity to come back with it.
You don't got to
I ain't
come
got
back.
the hop,
That's
step, and the
what got
jump.
you the 100 mil. You got the half Euro.
I don't got the hop
to go back.
I ain't
but
got
you
the
got
hop,
the first one.
The hop, skip, and the jump. I got the first.
Yeah, you would have been.
I got the looks as deceiving legs.
They would have called you the. There's just, you know,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a move.
Practice got the one.
Yo, you gotta stop. Yo, all right. SGA 285 million without the comp. Like
4 years, no agent fee.
No agent fee. Fuck. Pure money.
Pure. The boy got his own money.
Yo, he got his own shit. And I just want to know what the fuck we doing wrong. My legs are bad, everything.
You can't shoot the turnaround, man.
Yo, this shit is...
You don't know how to do this.
You know, because you ever notice these ball players, they want to be rappers? I don't know what for.
You know, let me speak on that. They want to I figured it out. Ball players like rappers. They don't want to be, they want ball player money, but they want to be rappers with their contracts. If they had to switch
like a
contracts, it'd be less ball players. They'd be playing the piano and on. They wouldn't want to rap.
They wouldn't want to rap if they figured it out. I just think everything's
perception. Never say a rap again.
I think it's smoke and mirrors. I think the ball players think the rappers got as much money as them.
No, they don't.
They've been watching. I'm telling you.
No, they don't. No, never. First of all, let's put this thing in perspective, okay? So the first thing that we got to put in perspective is all ball players are not created equal, all right? Secondly, there is a small amount of people, and this is the problem with this nonsense, right? The problem with this is that we get to see their contracts, and when you thinking about the fact that these guys is going to be making some of them upwards of, you're going to see the first $1 billion contract in our lifetime. You're going to see the first $1 billion contract in our lifetime. Baseball players, they make an egregious amount, ungodly amount of money. Basketball players, certain basketball players make an ungodly amount of money. And so what they're basically doing is they're messing up the game, because this is why we got all of our kids, and they don't want to be doctors, they don't want to be lawyers, they don't want to be business owners. All of them want to be rappers, and all of them want to be ball players. And you're never going to, do you know how hard it is to actually make it into the league, let alone get to the point to where you're getting a superstar contract? Bro, most players, do you know the stat is still real that most basketball players are broke within 5 years of leaving the league, regardless of how much money that they make? MLB don't have no salary cap. That's a fact. A lot of these guys are still broke regardless of how much money that they make. You can make an ungodly amount of money, and it doesn't mean that you've changed your habits. You can make an ungodly amount of money, and it doesn't mean that you haven't changed your habits. And so when you think about how much money some of these guys make, because everybody is not going to be in the league long enough to get that second contract. That's the problem. You got the SGAs, the Shea Gilgeous-Alexanders. You got the Chets. You got the Currys. You got the LeBrons. You got the ADs. You got the Lucas. You got those people. All right? Those are the people. The James Hardens, they made an egregious amount of money. Paul George, he stole a whole lot of money out of the NBA. You got those guys, right? You got those guys. And you got the second tier, and then you got the third tier. But the third and the fourth tier guys, they just trying to make a wave. They trying to hold on to a contract. They trying to get a long-term deal or whatever, right? All of the money is crazy, but, you know, some of these guys is going to be out of the league within 2 to 3 years. Some of these guys are going to be out of the league in 2 or 3 years. Now, you got to remember, as much money as they make, this is supposed to last them for a lifetime. It should last them for a lifetime. But you're giving 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25-year-olds an ungodly amount of money, and you're telling them to be able to manage effectively for the rest of their life. That's the problem. That is the problem. You're giving an ungodly amount of money to a lot of these guys, and you're telling them that they have to manage it for the rest of it. I just looked at Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza, somebody just sent me that. Sent me something to Trevor Ariza. They said Trevor Ariza made 100. They said Trevor Ariza made 100 M's. I might not even remember who Trevor Ariza is. And that he's saying that he broke. That he can't pay child support no more. They saying that he broke and can't pay child support anymore. Have y'all seen that? Sports Illustrated. Champion Trevor Ariza seeking financial relief after high retirement expenses. Being an NBA journeyman is one of the most difficult jobs for an athlete. Constant changes, scenery, familiarity. He carved out 18 seasons like former New Orleans forward and NBA champion. It's something to be applauded for. Trevor Ariza is something crucial role for almost 2 decades in the NBA. They say he played for 18 years. Despite hefty contracts, luxurious lifestyle that come with an 18-season career, which most NBA players do not get 18 years. That is crazy. It's very rare for you to ever get to that point. He says he's broke and asking the court to lower his child support payments. He said that he's in a situation that's become even more unbalanced because he's now the primary gift taker for his son, or caregiver for the son. Ariza Bree left the marriage with a luxury car, real estate, and half of his retirement accounts, yet refuses to work or contribute financially despite being capable. Jesus. He's been exploring deals, trying everything to create income. Nothing stable has come through. Things has changed since he's finalized this. They say that he's made over 116 million in 18 seasons. 116 million in 18 seasons. 18 years, 116 million. And he broke. He broke. That's what I'm saying. And it's happening every single year. So while I feel what Joe and them is saying, my other instincts and my other inclination is to say more money, more problems. 116 M's. And he like, yo, I need to reduce my child support because I got to live for the rest of my life and I ain't got no more money.
I think that. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm sitting next to Jeff Teague. How much money Jeff Teague made in his career?
He did.
Yeah.
He did pretty good. He did pretty.
What's pretty good?
I'll say over 50.
See how much?
Good.
He said
he only doing this for.
Hold up.
He signed a 3-year 57 in 2017.
And then what else? He got more than that.
Yeah.
Who else? You know what 57 million is? By the way, the man told me, yo, I remember, one of these things you was driving.
He made nearly 100.
You was driving a black Bentley. Like, fuck you, kid. You got 100 million. Like
98.8 to be exact.
They look at us. 98.8. That's on the lower. Like
That's on the low end. That's on the low end. Yeah.
Low end, my ass.
I used to go see
where I'm from.
I'll show you our daddy ball. I used to go see Ron Artest in fucking Queensbridge Projects. When he got that like 40 million or something, he had an old school pickup truck. He used to play for me at the Ruck. I would go to Queensbridge to get him. He's sitting out there with chancletas on in front of the bit. Like somebody ain't tell him, yo, you're filthy rich superstar. And he was out in the projects in the summer every day. And by the way, Ron Artest is undefeated in the Ruckus history. He never played a game that he lost. So if he played 100 times, you could have bet the kitchen sink on him. He never lost. One time we had a game, he cut himself all the way here. He taped the shit. He still won the game. Ron Artest, he was different, but it's safe to say I would switch with the ball players any day. And a baseball player.
Yo, we got to wrap this up.
Soccer.
You're making me mad.
Ronaldo shit. Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia getting like 500 million, taking the plane to Dubai every day. There's a 30-minute flight. He lives in Dubai.
It's 700 million over 2 years.
Disrespectful shit. And he flies over there for the game and flies back in the private like a joke. His kids are in Dubai. Man.
Take him to Disney. He might see 3,000,
You seen the money they gave my man Polanco?
What do you call it? Pablo?
Palachero?
You making me
what's
forget his name, man. Paulo Bancaro. Bancaro, yeah, man. Paulo. I'm sorry, Paulo. This guy.
Hold up. Let me tell you about Pancaro.
He just got the.
No. They did the right thing. I thought about it, right? I said, yo, if you put Pancaro on Detroit, they're the favorite. If you put Pancaro on any team that's almost looking to go, they're gonna win a chip. So I feel like, of course, Orlando gave him the bag, but they also played like defense.
But let me tell you why it's so much better where he got the bag in Orlando is because he don't got no state taxes. He don't got no state taxes. He don't have state taxes. That is one of the reasons why his money is going to be bigger and stretch longer. He don't got no state taxes, bro. Oh my God. These guys are running up a bag, and I just hope they do the right thing with it. I hope they do the right thing with it. I pray to God that these guys are smart with their money and their resources. Let me ask y'all a question really quickly. How much money is enough, in y'all opinion? How much money is enough? Like, what's the number? Like, realistically, not crazy, but what, and let me frame the question for y'all, all right? Before y'all just start throwing out some crazy stuff. What realistic number do you need to get to where you like, I'm set for the rest of my life and I can live the lifestyle that I want for the rest of my life? I'm set for the rest of my life and I can live the lifestyle that I want to live for the rest of my life. What's the number? Because see, it's two different numbers. The first number that I hit in 2019 when I first retired, there is a number, Tabby. It's a number. It's a number. Everybody got to have a number. The first number that I hit when I retired in 2019, that was the number I was like, you know what? I'm straight. My daughter's straight. I'm good for the rest of my life. I shouldn't have to ever need or want for anything. The next number that I'm looking to hit, it's more like, all right, wait a minute. How much money do I need to be able to live the lifestyle that I want to live for the rest of my life? Because your tastes change, your palate change, your standards change a little bit. And that's a different number. It's two different numbers. It's a number that you need to be able to be okay for the rest of your life. And most people, they not even putting into their retirement. They not focused on what they gonna deal with. They not trying to pay their house off before they retire. None of that stuff. I seen a person get a 30-year mortgage and they 67. I said, what you gotta live to 90. You gonna pay that till you 97? So it's a different number. It's a number or a lifestyle that you can hit where you can say, you know what? I'm good. I'm straight. And then it's a second number where you say, you know what? This is the type of lifestyle that I want to live for the rest of my life. And so I need to be at this space. Net worth or cash flow. Either or. It don't make no difference. I could be set with $5 million. Bill Gates says once you eat at $50, there's a lot more beyond that. What is your number, Anton? My number is, all right, my second number, the number that I'm chasing to where if I never, all right, so let me frame it like this. This is a better way for me to put it because I want to add more context, right? Because y'all just giving out numbers, but y'all not giving no context. This is the way that you're able to figure out what the number is, okay? I say it, all right, so what do I need to be at to live the lifestyle that I want for the rest of my life? All right, so the reason why I'm so dedicated to building this real estate portfolio, and I have a number of properties that I want to hit that will eventually put out a certain amount of money per month, okay? That means that with no mortgages, including maintenance, I want to take in a certain amount of money per month in the real estate game. That's my play. Obviously, they ain't got nothing to do with stocks. That don't have nothing to do with none of that. All of that is separate, all right? Real estate, the goal is to net positive cash flow $100,000 per month to live the life I want to live. Now, that's not to say that that number can't increase, all right? It's not to say that the number can't go up. It's not to say that the lifestyle won't change because I got a new goal, right? Eventually, I want to get to the point to where I can justify flying private. That's just a goal that incentivizes me to keep working. But in order for me to do the thing that I want to do and be comfortable and happy, I want to do $1.2 million per year in revenue that is given off from real estate, which means that I have to hit a certain number of properties that is then generating that type of revenue. So that's the goal. The goal is to hit 50 properties And I'll comfortably be above that number. 50 properties at between $2,500 to $3,000 per month. And that'll give you the number that I need. Somebody, Keith is spamming, Nixon Keith is spamming the chat. I've seen him put that in the chat multiple different times. Somebody time out, don't block him. Somebody time out Keith. One of the rules is that you don't spam the chat. Stop copying and pasting. Actually put something in there that's meaningful that the other people that are in the chat can enjoy and interact with you with, all right? So, for example, just right off the top of my head, because I know my business, 17 properties at $2,300 a month will give you just under $40,000 in revenue, roughly around $39,000 to $40,000 in revenue. Say it again for the people in the back. $2,300 a month on average, meaning that you're going to have some higher, you're going to have some lower. At 17 properties will give you or give off a little less than $40,000 a month. So if you shoot for 50 instead of 40, then when you at 17, then that'll give you the number that you got. A lot of people, they're not smart. They'll make a lump sum of money or they'll run up a bag and then they don't actually invest, or they're not putting money up and they're not putting money into assets, and they're not learning about how it is that they can leverage those assets to ensure that you're straight for the rest of your life if the situation comes to where you don't feel like working no more, you want to retire or whatever, right? So you got to put yourself in a position to where when you getting this money, it's not enough to throw it in the bank account. It's not enough to just put it in a savings account. It's not enough. You got to understand what businesses do you want to participate in that ultimately give off enough money and revenue to where you don't have to worry about the lifestyle that you want for the rest of your life. And that's the goal. That's what you should shoot for. So I can't sit here and tell you what your number should be. I see y'all putting a lot of different numbers in the chat. I can't tell you what your number should be because your number is going to be based off of whatever lifestyle that you want to live. But what I am telling you is that when you are stacking, when you are investing, when you are saving, when you do get that big bag, get it out of your system, and then you start to focus on putting the majority of your resources in the places that will then give you money for the rest of your life. You want the assets. You don't really care about the cash. The assets. The assets is what gives you that prominent net worth, because it is money that is going to be making money over a longer period of time. It's all about the assets. Whatever your number is, it could be, I want $6,000, $7,000 a month in retirement. I want $10,000 a month in retirement when I combine this and this and this. I want at least $5,000 in a paid off house. I want $25,000 a month. That'll give me the life that I want to live. I can travel wherever it is that I want to go comfortably. I want $50,000. I want this. I want that. Whatever your number is, just make sure that you are chasing the asset that ultimately will allow for you to live the life that you want to live for the rest of your life. That's what you want to do. All right? It's not too late, Carmela Ella. It's never too late. Come up with a number, y'all. Don't just say more, because you're not going to actually work towards anything. Come up with a number. Don't just say more. I want you to come up with a number so that you'll actually have something tangible that you can work towards. That's how I come up with my goals. I come up with my goals by saying, all right, what is it that I want to put off? And what do I have to do to get to the level to where it's generating that type of revenue? That's when I start making stuff move and doing what I need to do. All right. A lot of us, we just work or we just dump money, but we don't have no real goals. We don't have no real purpose. That's why the word saying everything you do, get understanding. You got to understand why you're doing it, so you'll be a lot more fervent in what you're doing. 5 Bitcoin ain't but $600,000. That ain't enough. 5 Bitcoin ain't but $600,000. That ain't enough. Moses King says it's never enough. It is enough. You got to be able to separate the difference between haves, wants, and needs. Haves, wants, and needs. It is enough. You got to separate the difference between have, wants, and needs. That's how you structure your goals. I need what it is that I got in 2019. I have where I'm at, and I want to be able to sustain a certain lifestyle, which would give me my goal and my purpose that allows for me to be able to grow and to be fervent in what it is that I do and dedicate myself to my investment strategy. And that's why we build what we build. That's why we invest in the real estate. That's why we do the classes on Patreon. And that's how we grind. Now, I want y'all to also take something else from this conversation, all right, before we end the show and I read the super chats. What I want you to take from this conversation is this. Hear me clearly. Hear me. If you are not around people that you can tell your dreams to, or you can have these conversations and they not saying that you unrealistic, then you around the people that you're supposed to be around. If you around people that keep telling you what's not possible, instead of saying, okay, well, how we gonna get there? If you're not around people that motivate you, if you're not around people that y'all can talk about your dreams, even if they not there yet, even if they are there yet, if you're not around people that motivate you, that actually want to see you successful in the same way that they want to see themselves successful, then you around the wrong people. You can't be around people that don't see it, that can't see it. And it's not to say that they're a bad person, but at the same time, you're not going to get nowhere around people that's still holding you back and keeping you down. If they only telling you that, I want to get a 50-cent raise on my job and that's enough. And if you want more than that, then you crazy. I'm telling you that you need to get around a different type of people. I don't want to hang around talking money with people that say that $50,000 is enough. I've seen enough of those. And again, it's nothing wrong with 50,000, but I want to be around people that say, how can we afford it instead of if we can afford it? What do we got to get to? When I say some of my dreams that I've already accomplished and some of the numbers that I need to hit, people are like, man, you crazy. Am I? Am I crazy? Or are you not crazy enough? I'm crazy like a fox. Somebody said, what if you married to them? This is what I've learned, see wisdom. You got to just keep going. You got to keep going. The thing about it is that I think that people that are in relationships or people that are around certain people, they spend too much time trying to convince the other person about what their dreams are instead of just dreaming and doing. You just got to work. You just got to go. I don't sit and I don't explain it. When we talk about it, we inspired by it. I just work. I just go. I just go. I just go. Real talk. Oh man, you'll never be able to make $50,000 a month on YouTube. You'll never be able to. We blew that. We blow that out the water. That ain't even a question. I got one channel that do 100,000 a month by itself. One channel doing because then when you get there, they don't want to hear about it. Oh, you just stunt. You always talk about money. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about somebody else? Because all you're going to do is talk about how somebody else cheated. All you're going to do is talk about how another person, what his money is, what his contract is. Now, I want to talk about my own money and figure out how we can grow that. I want to talk about my own money and figure out how we can grow that. I don't want to keep talking about everybody else's money. I don't want. Let's count our own money. Yo, how many properties that we had to pay property taxes for? What was the amount that we had to pay in property taxes? I paid all of my property taxes yesterday. No, not yesterday, day before yesterday. I went online and I paid all of my property taxes. I went line by line. I had to go property by property. I had to go and pay all of my property taxes yesterday. It's a beautiful feeling. Y'all got to get around people that's going, just work. I don't care if you're married to them, just work. They're not going to see it until you start doing it. Then when they see the manifestation of it, they're going to want to join in. When they see the manifestation of it, they're going to want to join in. That's what I know about people. They don't believe it until they see it. So I don't talk about it. I just keep doing it. I just work. I told people, yeah, man, I want to get to the point where I'm doing $1 million a month. People told me, do you know people just recently told me I'm crazy? Again? So I told them I was going to do $50,000 a month on the internet. They say you crazy. And we blew that out. We said I'm going to do $100,000 a month on the internet. You crazy. We blew that out. Do $200,000 a month on the internet. We going to blow that out. You crazy. We blow that out. Now I say I want to do $1 million. Why? Do you know that it's people that actually do $1 million a month and just sponsorships? Why are we crazy by saying, what's so crazy about saying that you can make $1 million a month and you ain't got to pick up a basketball in order to do it? It's 100% possible. You telling me, okay, listen, the first 100, the first 50 was the hardest. Once we do that and we did that consistently, man, we can kill that all day long. We absolutely can kill that all day long. And then we take 15, we keep it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? 15%, we take the other 85% and we reinvest it and we just keep on investing. We keep on running it up, keep on running it up and keep on running it up. Somebody said they need a team for this content creation stuff. Why you need a team? I've been telling my people I need a team for this content creation stuff. None of them really moving until they see my page popping up. Yo, man, it's me. It's me. Ain't nobody in this studio but me. This is me. All of this is me. 100%. This is all Anton from Ant. That's it. It's me, bro. You don't need nobody. All you need is yourself. Y'all keep thinking, oh, I need a team. I need an editor. I need this. I need that. Man, it's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. That's how we rocking. Nobody controlling my cameras. I control my own cameras. See that? See all that equipment that's in there? That's all me. That's me. This all me. Give me some tripods. Give me some cameras. Give me what it is that I need. You know what I'm saying? And we rocking. We good. It's all we need. All I need is a camera and some equipment and a desk and some tripods and some stuff, and we rocking, bro. That's all me. Over there right there, we gonna record over there. That's all we need, man. We don't need no help. You need work ethic. That's it. That's all you need is work ethic, bro. You don't need none of that. You don't need no help. You don't need none of that. That's it. That's all you need, bro. You don't need none of that stuff. All of that extra talk. I need a team. No, nigga, you just need heart. You just need heart. That's it. And hustle. That's all you need. That's all you need. All of this other junk, please. People be having all of these workers behind the scenes and producers. Man, I be like, man, all I need is me. We all money in. All money in. And we gonna run it up. Need nobody. Need nothing. I'm a grind. I'm a hustler to my core. When I'm on a plane, I'm figuring it out. When I wake up, I'm figuring it out. It's a hustler, bro. Need nobody. Content creation is hard. You just got to work your ass off. Now, don't believe it's easy. It's hard. It's definitely hard, but you just got to grind. Listen, I love y'all. Let me read some of these super chats, and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here, man. AI giving relationship advice, LMAO. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Don't forget, AD, the NBA players have to pay taxes in every state they play in. Facts. That's going to cut half of their earnings. Juan Soto has a 15-year, $765 million contract. Jesus Christ. Maine law says the advantage for rappers is that they can perform shows forever, rock bass. It takes two to make a thing all right. It's performing 2 songs since the 80s. 7 million with 5 million in my stock account. Why would you have 7 million with 5 million in your stock account? I want 6.9 million in my stock account, 100,000 in my regular account, 50,000 in my regular account. Kamala can go higher at to hell ACDC. Shout out to Jason. David Williams says ESPN cut all ties with Shannon Sharp. Did they? Send me that in my email. I'm about to go react to that right now. Devastator says, yeah, my goals is to get my condo at my dream car, Lexus LC500. Then I'm set for life. It'll change. It'll change. You're gonna get higher goals, I promise you. Jay Thomas says, hey Anton, do you have any TikTok and YouTube content ideas using VO3 that will possibly bring in additional income? Just asking. I'm not in the Patreon yet. Well, you need to tap into the Patreon because I did a whole live stream on VO3. I did a whole live stream, literally. The content, the AI Patreon, go and watch it. I got another one coming up. I think we're going to do a Patreon tomorrow on content creation, actually. Shout out to Taylor B615 with the 50 ball. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you, my friend. Amen. Thank you, bro. I really do appreciate it. Amen on one says 50 Cent said you only get as far as mother effers you talk to every day for no reason. I like that. Podcast next in the building says great show. Also, what time is the live stream on Patreon? It'll be tomorrow at 8. I think 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Wow. Thank y'all for sending me that. I'm going to break down that Shannon Sharp situation shortly. Tomorrow, I think at 8 o'clock. Pop, Brothers Keeper. Shout out to Brothers Keeper says, would you compare saving to addition and spending and subtraction and investing to multiplication and gambling to division? Saving is addition. Spending is subtraction. Well, it depends. The context is, you could say that, but the context is, for example, I spend on things that'll make me more money. So you can say addition by subtraction, right? Investing is to multiplication, and all investments don't necessarily pay off, right? What's 5 times 0? So maybe it is accurate because everything is not absolutely, going to be in your favor. And gambling to division. Some people say that you take a gamble when you invest in a business. It's not always going to work out for you. So interesting narrative, though. Absolutely interesting narrative. Off the charts with Real Will is in the building. Says, one day I will be on your nightly show grinding. Shout out to Off the Charts with Real Will. I appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. So no live stream tonight. That'll give me some time to get my stuff together and prepare for tomorrow. It's been a great show, and I try to entertain y'all and keep y'all occupied and busy every single day. Just short of 3 hours, but we in there. We back at it. Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow. We got 3 live streams tomorrow. Millionaire Morning Show, Patreon live stream. That's what we planning for. We're going to plan for that tomorrow. Then we got after hours. All right? I love you. I appreciate y'all. Let's get this money, family.